Welcome into the Cam Strick Podcast, episode number 187, presented by Hair Club for men and women.
And women.
And animals.
No,
they'll do stuff for animals too, dude. You have no idea.
You serious?
Oh, my God, yeah. You didn't know that?
No, that's a dumb take.
Restore, replace, and regrow, dude.
It doesn't work that way.
You ever seen like some of those dogs that are...
Yeah, and you have. I had a cat that lost her fucking hair, too.
Really?
And I'm not
like
going
alopecia?
Yeah, we're not getting into that again. But the point is, it's for men and women. Go get it done. Okay? We got a lot of shit to talk about.
Okay, you know what?
There's a lot of fucking drama in the NHL.
Okay, can I just tell you this?
What?
So, true story. Because I was in Denver last week, and we had a tornado here at the same time, dude. An EF1. You don't know what that is.
EF0, you dumb fuck.
Well, there was an EF1 and an EF0.
Where? Where's the one at?
In southern Illinois, I believe.
Yeah, or whatever, southern Illinois.
Yeah,
We're talking about like Kirkwood,
yeah,
Missouri.
EF0.
That was a zero. And it knocked down big-ass trees. No, I'll take over here.
No, let me tell you what happened. Dude, it happened in my house. Dude, I'm telling you what happened.
Yeah, it did nothing.
Nothing? Dude, I've got chairs. Black Adirondack chairs, very beautiful, handcrafted. I think like Amish people actually put them together.
The Mennonites.
So they're high quality.
Yeah,
and this shows you how.
And it blew away. That's nothing.
No.
Do you get how that works? That's nothing.
In the woods, like hundreds of feet away, dude.
That was an EF0.
Now,
enhanced Vegeta scale 0, meaning you're gonna have things knocked down. Maybe your fucking thing's gonna blow away a little bit. If that was a 1 or 2, you'd be in a jam with your house, man. You don't have any stone on that mug. That would have ripped your house apart.
Stone.
You got stone in your house?
Yeah. And
I
got a basement and everything.
Yeah, you'll be okay, but it'll fuck your house up. And you got big trees by your house, dude. They'll just smash your house down.
A couple other things, dude. I had some beautiful lanterns. They have glass on them.
They're gone.
Dude, glass everywhere.
They're gone.
Glass everywhere.
That's petty shit. We're talking about tornadoes here, and you're talking about your stupid glass. That doesn't matter.
Dude,
we're lucky that... Let me say something real quick.
I bought some pillows, too, from Outdoor Pillows.
They're gone.
Well, I'm looking through the woods trying to find them, dude. I will never give up on that.
Your neighbors are looking at these pillows.
Oh, you thought it ended up in the okra garden?
Your cheap ass neighbors they're all fucking cheap in that neighborhood, and they'll grab those pillows and they're gonna hide them. They're like, ooh, whatever comes in my yard's mine. That's what they fucking do. But here's the point.
You know what they spend money on?
Nothing.
Cars.
Here's the deal. Well, cool. Here's the deal. There's gonna be a tornado, and I'm gonna predict this right now.
Okay.
In Missouri.
You don't predict. What are you, a weatherman?
Just listen to me for a second. I've watched these tornadoes come in my whole life. I've studied these damn things.
I've lived through
Would
one.
you let me talk? Because no one wants to hear about you talking about the weather. Because they know you don't know shit. But now I'm going to predict this. There's going to be a tornado in our lifetime, Andy. Ugh. There's going to be an EF3 to EF5. And it's going to go and it's going to have a fucking 40-mile path. And it's going to rock St. Louis.
Dude.
It's happened in the 1800s. It almost happens every other weekend in May. But it just misses us and it hits the
every other weekend.
Dude, in the tornado season, there's tornadoes all over the place.
So there's nothing that can be done with the atmosphere or anything like that to prevent these from happening?
No. Hell no.
It's a natural disaster.
Here's there's tornadoes every fucking day. You don't hear about them because they're in the middle of Oklahoma and Nothingville. They're in the middle of Kansas and Nothingville. They're in Illinois, just missing St. Louis, and they hit Illinois. But in our lifetime, because everything's more populated now, there's going to be a big boy that's going to rock St. Louis just like it did in the 1800s. You'll see.
What do you know about the 1800 tornado? Like you
rocked it.
Well, like what happened?
Ooh, killed a bunch of people in St.
Really?
Louis. Yep.
Really?
Big old EF4 came through. And I'll tell you this, in 1925, there was a tornado that went, the tri-state tornado. It started in Missouri. It went through Missouri. It went through all of Illinois, killed 600 people. And you know what's crazy about it? Then it went all the way through Indiana. It was like 300 miles of EF5 tornadic destruction. And here's why you know it's crazy. Because in 1925, tri-state tornado, it killed a bunch of farmers.
Really?
What does that mean?
Really?
What do you think that means?
1925, yeah.
It killed a bunch of farmers. What does that mean? These farmers are so goddamn weather savvy.
Yeah.
They are so, even back then, they are weather savvy.
They know the radar.
They know there was no radar back then, homeboy. But they just know.
Saying, they know what's going on. They're watching they're watching the weather guy.
A bunch of farmers.
Were they watching the Weather Channel back then?
It didn't work that way, but they know they're weather savvy. You could joke about it all you want because you're ignorant to
what
the
do
situation.
you think of the weather people who stand out there and they're like blowing away, but they're still delivering that
badass,
live report?
I'll go back and watch like old school tornado videos on YouTube.
Some of them fake it, dude. Like they act like they're being blown away, but they're not.
Yeah, but when you're dealing with tornadoes, those guys are fucking badass.
So
man.
anyway, I was out of town, but we had the EF0 And
it was a little
significant damage, dude.
Not significant damage. You're wrong on
Cam,
that. It knocked a couple fucking trees over and it blew your stupid ass.
The next town over, and then it touched down in the school that was near us.
I know. It didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's an EF0.
Touchdown. Right
you had the headwinds were 70 miles an hour. Dude, like, that was a crazy storm. But it's still an EF0.
Power for at least 24 hours.
If that was an EF2, there would have been deaths out the wazoo.
Oh, man. Well, thank God that there wasn't.
Well, it's going to happen.
And thank God that everyone was safe, because I felt terrible because I'm out of town.
Your cheap fuck neighbors are like, ooh, bring it on. More furniture for us.
No.
Cheap asses.
They're probably walking around the neighborhood fucking finding their way through
mask
it,
on.
fighting their way through it. The garden, though, it's amazing. Also, half my fence ripped out. True story.
Oh, that sucks, though. That's going to cost you out the ass.
Well, you got
insurance on that? Yeah, I guess you do, right?
Yeah, you got insurance.
So it knocked over your fence, too,
Half of it. No, like, it's a vinyl fence, so
it's cheap.
Just
half
of it. No, it's not cheap, dude. I wish a fence was cheap, dude.
Right, no fences are cheap. None. Especially your big backyard. That thing costs you out the ass.
I've realized that these fences they're only good for privacy. Really.
You need that fence in your backyard because you got that school behind you.
Well, not just
and you want all the boys coming over
the neighbors and stuff like that. Speaking of masks, dude, I need you to address something.
What up?
The gym teacher at my daughter's school.
Yeah.
Apparently he listens to the podcast. He tells my daughter that he listens to the podcast, but
okay.
This needs to be addressed.
What do you do?
He made my daughter go stand in the corner because her mask, which now they're wearing, they were outside for recess, and it came off her nose a little bit. It made her go stand. She never gets in trouble, dude, ever. And he made her go stand. So she comes home and tells me that. Oh, no. Can you talk to this guy for a minute, please?
What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You can't even breathe with that goddamn thing on, and it goes a little bit down past her nose, and you put her in the corner and make her
warning.
And you
embarrassed her.
You embarrass her in front of everybody when she's a great student. She kicks ass at sports. She's happy, and she probably couldn't breathe. You nutbag. Is he a hippie?
I don't know.
Is he one of those hippies?
I don't know.
Does he live in your subdivision?
I don't know where he lives. I don't know.
Settle down.
This is the gym teacher.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Apparently, he's not nice to the kids.
Oh, and we got a problem.
And we love our listeners, but 99.9% of our listeners are nice to other people.
Goddamn right.
I mean,
except for you.
This is the one.
They're mean to you, Andy. But don't be mean to little Chloe. No, she's on. No. I don't like that. You put her in a corner. She's like, "What did I do? I was trying to breathe. I'm sorry about that. I was breathing because I can't breathe with this fucking mask on."
She didn't even know it slipped down.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
They don't stay up.
Now, again, I'll say this: if I'm in charge of children and they had it. You want to wear them? I'll just put a fucking mask on. I'm like, I want kids to see.
School district policy. They just changed it back last week.
Give her a warning. Grab her, babe. Just put that over your. Just put it over your nose.
Hey, listen, your mask. It's like when you're on an airplane. The flight attendant will say,
"Oh, the fucking bitch."
Can you pull that up?
The bitch.
Oh, that you can't say that.
I just said it.
Well, that was a little.
I don't care.
The line
She was
the way
being
you're talking
she was being a
about
coont, and I'm not gonna lie to you.
Who was?
The fucking flight attendant. I'm so tired. I'm already have vertigo. I'm like, oh God, and I'm finally passed out. And she goes, she takes her pointer.
Please don't talk about her like that.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Terrible.
She pokes me with her fucking finger. She touches me. She touches.
Were you sleeping? Were you sleeping?
Your sound is. Oh my! I
First
almost
off, can I
lost
just say
it.
this?
I almost lost it.
I would never touch somebody if they were sleeping.
She
anyway.
touched me.
It's weird.
I almost smacked her.
I don't like touching anybody.
Kate goes, "What are you doing to her?"
Kate did.
Kate gets.
I saw her.
If
I saw
Kate gets
Kate
pissed,
defend you before.
if
with
Kate
that
gets
old
pissed,
lady. Yes.
Oh, that old fucking bag, is choking me out. You fucking. Don't touch me. Don't fucking point at my chest. She touch my chest. Put that mask up, bitch. Get out of my face. You're doing nothing. Get out of here.
Well, this gym teacher.
Fuck him too.
Normally, if it wasn't the end of the year, I would maybe address it.
Baby,
I'm trying not to. I haven't had.
Put it over your nose.
I haven't had a conversation with a teacher all season long. I'm just trying to get.
I don't
through
like
the
that.
Year.
Look, he's got to do what he's got to do. But
No, he
give her
doesn't
a
have
fucking.
to do that.
No, I know.
You know what her?
I know.
You know what her regular teacher tells the kids who plays music in the classroom? She says, "If it falls down, whatever, we have to do this. No one wants to wear it. It is what it is. Just always
That's
a
okay.
reminder. Just pull
That's
it
cool.
up. And if it falls down, and
Don't single a
but
kid out.
she's not looking for it and telling all the kids. It is what it is.
It's all
dude.
fucking bullshit anyway. It's all bullshit anyway. It is.
Oh, I had a lady knock on the door the other day, and she delivered a massive cheese board to me. So it was
awesome.
It was a great cheese board. Said "Let's go Blues" on the front
cool.
of it. Okay,
Good for you, Andy.
And so I have
It's such a cool thing. To
very
talk about.
nice
People that are listening to Saskatchewan that want to hear about Kadri and shit. They want to hear about your stupid fuck cheese board.
St. Louis Cheese Board
Stupid
Company,
ass
dude.
fuck.
They delivered it.
Are
to the
you?
house.
Is this a fucking
No,
library? It
no,
better not be.
But they
pulling
gave
this
it
shit
to a
on
bunch
me.
of the Blues players.
Don't take
too.
advantage of
They're
that.
dropping it off.
I don't give a shit
Yeah,
about
so-
fucking cheese. I don't give a shit. No one cares.
Hey, it had crackers on it,
Andy, let's talk hockey.
and it has
because
some,
no one cares
No,
about
I
that.
had some grapes and some fruit
No one
too.
cares. No one cares. No one gives a fuck.
I'll bring you some next time.
No, I don't want it, man.
No, I'm gonna
I get it from the clubhouse. I do like my cheese board when I got my motherfucking wine going on. And I love Sunday, by the way. How cool is that?
What?
Staggered ass fucking games. You got a 12:30 game. You got a fucking 3:30 game. You got a 7 o'clock game. I finally got to watch Connor McDavid without being a 9:30 at fuck night.
Yeah.
I watched Connor do his thing the other night.
Can I address
he and
him
fucking
real
Evander
quick?
Kane kicking ass.
Can I address him? Because I
Go ahead.
said,
No, let's talk cheese boards.
well, I'm going to bring you some next time.
No, I
dude.
don't want any.
They actually cut out the cheese
Andy,
and they
fuck
put
off.
like a LGB in there. Let's go Blues, and they had like fig jelly in there to make the letters and everything. It was
awesome.
very, very nice.
That's so
very,
cool.
very nice. Yeah,
That's really
yeah.
cool. People
I
care.
said prior to the second round that I thought Cale Makar was the best player in the league. I mean, he had like 10 points in the first round. I'm like, this dude's unstoppable. He's unbelievable. But I have to change that. I'm flip-flopping because there's no question Connor McDavid, undisputed, best player in the game. He truly is like
He is, dude.
their team. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, he is their team. They've got some other good players. They got another great player in Draisaitl, who I hear has that high ankle sprain, right? He's playing with that.
That's tough to deal with,
That
too.
is
He's
tough.
making nice little sauce backhand passes.
he's
to fucking Gainer.
he's
Yep.
passing. Now, everyone needs to pump the brakes on Evander Kane, telling me how much money he's going to get paid and all this type of stuff this offseason. Now, he might. Somebody's going to give him a contract. Obviously, it could be Edmonton. But just look at the highlights. He scored 3 goals in succession, like 6.5 minutes span in the game on Sunday, okay? But they're all the same goals. And it always involves McDavid or it involves Draisaitl. And he's just the recipient
Well, he's
of
doing
these
it,
great
though. No,
players.
no.
No, he's doing it.
He's doing it, though.
But if
sometimes you need to come
he's
on.
doing it. And he's
Compliment.
always scored goals throughout the course of his career. But the pace that he's on right now, listen, there's a lot of guys
Okay.
who could certainly produce playing with Connor McDavid. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but he's fitting the mold
Yeah, it's all
perfectly,
good.
and he's
all good.
complimenting
Yes.
Connor, and he's big, and he's kind of tough, and he's scary a little bit.
Yeah.
And here's another thing, Connor. If I'm Evander Kane, I'm looking at Connor like I owe you everything.
Everything.
Because he's the one that the GM talked to first. You know, old boy Holland talked to Connor McDavid and
yeah.
said, "What do you think? What do you want to
Yeah.
do with this guy?
Should we
will
get
get
this
him?
work? Should we make this
Should
work?
we get him?
Because I'll say this, hey, the Blues,
You know, I know.
they're one of the other teams that had interest, and I think some people probably weren't as receptive of bringing him, and it's a
why would
different
you?
situation. The Blues weren't as desperate as Edmonton
Exactly.
was, and they weren't
So-
willing to take that risk. They didn't have to take that risk where
There it
Edmonton
is.
needed
They didn't
to.
have to, and Edmonton needed to, and it worked out so far.
For sure, so far.
But here,
He wants that
hey,
contract.
Evander, you owe a lot to Connor McDavid.
Mm-hmm.
He brought you out of the depths of hell, homeboy.
Ooh.
You are fucking dug deep in hell, and he got you out of that. You better fucking perform for him.
Mm-hmm.
You better do the right thing. You owe that man a lot. You do. He dragged you out of depths of hell. You were in a fucking jam, homie.
Yeah.
And now you're kicking ass.
Although, who were some of the other teams that were interested? Wasn't Florida interested too? They could probably use his ass. Florida.
Florida. What the fuck are you doing? Boring ass Florida.
Hey, listen,
You're boring. You're boring. You're boring.
Cam, who
you're
was-
not blocking shots. You're not hitting
Who
anybody.
was the first person you heard say Florida will not get it
You
done
did,
in
Andy.
the playoffs?
100%. I chirp you for everything.
I was like,
But
I'm
you are
watching this team,
100%
and everyone's like, "Oh, listen, they were down 6-0, and they
Fucking
came back
babies.
and won." And I'm like watching them, and I'm like, I just don't see it.
Watch Steven Stamkos. Steven Stamkos is turning into Stevie Y. Eisman. I'm going to say it right now. He is. He blocks shots with his goddamn face. He went into the tunnel 3 times in a row, 3 different shifts the other day. Comes back, sucks it up, goes out and blocks another shot.
then he's
Scores
got
a
that- he's got
fucking
that
one-T.
one-timer.
He's got that fucking 1-T. He is Stevie Y. Eisman. He's turning it. How are you going to?
Well,
is he not?
I didn't see Stevie Y with that one tee from the circle just going bar
Stevie
down.
Y.
Well, of course.
Well, he had one knee too.
Scorer.
And this was what. And Stevie was a little bit older when he was getting all his success too.
Yeah.
They are the same kind of player,
I'm
man.
just glad
they're right-handed. They look alike.
Stamkos, the first Stanley Cup, obviously he wasn't healthy and whatever.
But he goes out there and scores
He's dealt with a lot of injuries, man.
Dude, I like him a lot.
Oh, Stamkos.
I like that team a lot.
Stamkos.
I like that team. Vasilevsky, he's the best goalie in the world. He's the best goalie in the world.
Well, thanks, Cam. We didn't know that.
No, he's the best goddamn goalie in the world, and he's proven himself every year like he is. He's better than anybody.
How close is he to joining the Patrick Waz and the Marty Brodeurs? I mean, he's going to have the end of his career statistics to match that in terms of wins and shutouts and all that type of stuff, which he will. Okay, I mean, he's still in his prime, obviously. He's got a long way to go before his career is done. But this guy wins a third consecutive Stanley Cup.
Motherfucker.
You could maybe say that this guy, he's on path to become potentially, Cam. Dude, I don't want to speak anything crazy, as being maybe the best goaltender ever.
Is he ever, like, out of position? Is he ever, like,
no, he's
scrambling?
Good, man. He is so good.
Do they ever scramble? Does Tampa ever scramble with anything?
Does he really ever have a bad game? He had a couple of average games, I guess, against Toronto.
Whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but when it matters the most, look at the numbers in terms of his career after a loss and in elimination games, dude, when this guy just turns it on.
Because he's the man.
Yeah.
That's what you do when you're a winner. Mm-hmm. You know how to fucking win the big-time games. That's exactly what he does. Yeah. He's never scrambling. Let me give you another example, too. Tampa. Toronto, you had him, too, you fucks. You had him. You fucking had him. And you fucked it up. I know you've heard this before, but God, you were right there. Look what they're doing in Florida. You had them. Mm-hmm. God damn. No offense, like I love Tampa, but I'm sick of seeing them. Like I want to see somebody else.
I'm with you there,
dude. Yeah. I'm sick of them. I love all.
Yeah, I'm not one of those. I don't need to see the New England Patriots win the Super Bowl every year
want it.
And all that.
I don't want parity.
I don't like
you
that.
had them, Toronto, and you fucked up.
And this was an opportunity for Florida to truly like.
And what are you doing?
Kind of put a cat. They didn't have to win the Stanley Cup. But they had to get to the conference final. They had to beat Tampa Bay.
Oh, God.
And listen, when we're taping this, obviously Game 4, because like they're playing like back. What are they? They're like 39 miles away from each other or whatever. And now they're playing back-to-backs and whatever. They had 2 days off, whatever.
Here's another thing.
So we don't know how it's going to go in Game 4.
Here's another thing.
Yeah.
Corey Perry.
Oh, yeah. I love Perry.
Corey fucking Perry. He just does it. But you could only have a Corey Perry at that age on a good team, right? Like, he just compliments him. Yeah. You throw him on a fucking power play.
He wouldn't go to a bad team.
He's fucking mean. He gets hit the other night and he just steps up like, fuck you. He goes out there and scores a goal, does this, does that.
He's a guy that would fit. He'd fit in well in St. Louis, too, man.
No, on a good team.
Yeah.
On a good team.
Oh, yeah.
He's good.
He's just got that ability as a great player, as a former Hart Trophy winner, to do whatever – to have success in whatever role that he's put in. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Here, another thing, too. They're without Braden Point. When does he come back? Is he hurt?
He's hurt, but it's
high ankle sprain,
whatever. So hopefully, listen. They hope that they get him back. This could actually work in there if they're able to sweep, which we don't know because the game is tonight in terms of Game 4. I mean, it would give them an opportunity to truly get a lot of time off here. And hopefully get that kid back.
Let me ask you about, so
it's one thing to get passed out of the second round without him. Winning a Stanley Cup without Braden Point's a whole nother animal. And I know that, Andrew Brunette had a long career, whatever, and maybe he's in a little bit over his head right. I don't know. I mean, as the head coach,
you think
right?
Where's Joel Thornton at?
Oh. I don't know.
Where's Joel Thornton? Why don't you put him in the fucking lineup?
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah.
You guys are boring.
Well, and I know their power play has been terrible. They finally scored their first power play goal.
0 for 25.
And so during the regular season, they just kind of and they're making T-shirts about comeback cats and all this shit.
Go fuck
they're
yourself.
Celebrating the fact that they're always behind and then they find a way. But that only lasts for so long in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh, shit.
And so now it's interesting because I had said I didn't think their defense was good enough, and I didn't know if the goaltending would be good enough. Bobrovsky has actually been fine. It's not his fault as to why they're losing right now.
Dude,
they don't score.
They don't score.
So now it's on the big dogs, the offensive stars. So
it's on the coach to change the system
it's
up,
a
too.
little bit.
Like, what are we doing?
So yeah, I wonder, does Florida, because I know Joe Quenneville for a fact remains in touch and has a great relationship with that owner there, the Florida Panthers.
Okay.
They didn't want to get rid of Joel.
No shit.
Okay. They were forced to get rid of Joel because of the situation that occurred and whatever. It is what it is. We don't have to get back into that. But if they had it their way, If they lose here in the second round, they would love to bring Joel Quenneville back to Florida. I know that. But I don't know if he wants to go back there or not. I don't know how that whole thing is going to play out.
I hope.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know, but you need to do something different. You need to do something different. Florida, you're embarrassing yourself. Figure it out.
I hear the Philadelphia Flyers and John Tortorella are having some significant conversations and whatever. So, maybe Torts is going to end up back with the Philadelphia Flyers. Or not back with them, but go to the Philadelphia Flyers.
So a couple other things there, too. Okay, well, the Kadri thing, you want to get into that? Yeah. And I do want to talk about Brady a little bit, too.
Okay.
Our boy Brady.
Let's talk about...
What do you want?
Well, let's talk about Kadri.
Kadri, okay. Do I like Kadri? Not really. Does he have a punchable face? Yeah, he does. His big buggy eyes. Like, I kind of want to hit him a little bit. And that's all good. But he didn't fuck up on this play. He took advantage of a situation like I did with Carey Price, where you know that you're going 100 miles an hour and you have an opportunity to have a collision with a goaltender that's not going to be your fault.
Yeah.
And he just went through with it. Yeah. And that's fine.
Well, listen.
No, he didn't do anything wrong there.
No, here's my take on it. I mean, this is a story and this is a conversation that we're having because it's Nazem Kadri. Like, he hasn't earned the benefit of the doubt,
no
right?
doubt.
In terms of his history, what he's done to his teams in the playoffs in the past, being suspended 3 different times in the playoffs, 8-game suspension last year against the same team when he knocked out Justin Falk. So he doesn't really get the benefit of the doubt. But I don't disagree with what you're saying. I mean, he's a determined player, dude. He's a hungry player. He wants to score. On the ice, too. And you're taught from a very young age. Like, when that puck is loose in front of the goaltender,
the puck was loose.
You're doing whatever you can do to get that puck across the goal line, okay?
Exactly.
And if it means, hey, you're crowding the goaltender, this has been going on for dozens and dozens and dozens of years in terms of the mentality of playoff hockey, the mentality of hockey in general.
Do what it takes.
Hey, you crash the net, right?
Yeah, because you put yourself in a situation.
You crash the net. You crowd the goaltender. You bump the goaltender. Dino Ciccarelli and some of these guys made a living on it.
Look at Claude Lemieux.
Look at Claude Lemieux. All these guys. So is he looking to hurt the goaltender? Probably not. Do you want to give him the benefit? Did he maybe
of course he
give a little extra when he fell on him?
Exactly. Yeah. No, but you're in that. The point is,
did.
The situation turned out to be perfect. It formed in a perfect.
It's a hockey play.
It's a hockey play, 100%. Because if the puck was not loose. And he did that, and Benner covered it up, then we have a problem.
Right.
But the puck was loose, so it was a perfect storm for him to be able to have a collision.
And
that's
listen,
it.
and I talked to a source with player safety because I wasn't expecting a suspension, but you just never know because of Kadri, right? But I wanted to see how they viewed the play.
Yeah, because there was a game before where the Nichushkin ran
over
over Benner.
Yeah,
and he
got a penalty. I think, honestly,
and they scored
if it's a regular season game, I bet you Kadri does get a minor penalty.
He should have got a penalty for it. It was just a bad play, and he rocked Benner.
I thought maybe you could have given him a minor penalty. Now
I kind of agree with why they didn't. And
because here's what player safety is telling me is that they feel like the contact that he made with the defenseman, Calle Rosen, led to the contact.
It did.
With the goaltender.
Andy, it did. So my point is, like, when you're that kind of guy, because I was that kind of guy. Like, if you're when I saw that Carey Price, and I'm like, I'm going to be able to fuck him up.
Yeah.
And it happened so fast. But
David Perron, he's bumped goaltenders in the past. I mean, listen.
No, I'll tell you, Barbie bumped fucking
Kemper?
Barbie fucks up fucking Samuel Girard.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh, my. Hey, when you crunch a guy like that, motherfucker, I've been crunched like that. I've done that to guys. Your whole body crumbles. And his fucking sternum cracked. You can't breathe. You can't do shit.
Oh, my God.
And so Sammy Blais, when I watched that
give him credit for getting back up, man. I've seen guys get stretchered off with a broken sternum.
So that first 5 minutes of the Blues in Colorado last game, the Blues are all over him. Sammy Blais, mother fucks up Sammy Girard. The crowd's going crazy. They score a goal. And I'm watching that, Andy, and I'm like, damn, something bad's going to happen now. Yeah. It was too good. It was too good of a fucking first 5 minutes. Yeah. And they score, and then all of a sudden the Kadri thing happened, and the whole building, you were there, deflated. They never got back up. No. It was the weirdest fucking thing.
It was almost like after the first goal that Colorado scored, when the coaching staff for the Blues elected not to challenge.
That was a weird play, too.
That was a weird play.
I want that to be a goal. Look, we're honest here, Andy. We're honest here.
That's a tough position. For a coach to be in, like you're at home, they just scored, and you know that the chances of that goal being overturned is probably pretty small.
You can't determine.
You're going to give Colorado back on the power play and potentially go down
by
by another goal? Man, that's a tough
And people
situation.
are bitching about that. I'm like, where's the goddamn camera?
After you already lost your goalie.
I know.
You know?
No, Andy, you're right on that. So weird drama. Look, the NHL ain't disappointing except for Panthers. Pussy ass. You pussies.
What do you think of them?
Do something, pussies.
What do you think of the Florida Panthers?
They're pussies. They're playing like pussies. No, I don't mean to be so, but you are. They're owning you.
Yeah.
Do something.
I will say this to anybody out there, though, who is threatening Nazem Kadri.
You're a weirdo.
Or throwing out racial or insensitive social media comments or messages toward him. Like, you're a
weirdo.
Scumbag.
Don't do that.
Scumbag.
No, you can beat them all. Hey, I got another thing, too, by the way, to say. And this pissed me off. And I love my Blues fans. I go on trips with the Blues fans. I go on trips with the fucking season ticket holders. I hang out with them. Andy, you see the goddamn Blues fans. Everywhere we go, we talk to Blues fans. We're in their face at the gas station, everywhere. They pissed me off the other night. They pissed me off. What? There's a couple threads that I read. Did I know the people that are on?
What are you on the message boards?
I am on everything. I know everybody. Okay. I'm on everything.
Okay.
A couple times, and this pissed me off. There's a family at Enterprise.
Oh.
A family in Colorado with Colorado jerseys on.
Ooh.
With two young kids. And a mom and a dad with their two young kids. And they're happy and they're scoring and they're high-fiving each other when and some dipshit Hoosiers are beaking the little kids and saying they're fucking ugly.
Oh, God.
And that pissed me
they're probably not from here.
That pissed me off so fucking bad.
They don't listen to us.
You don't fucking do that. If it's two 30-year-old fucking dipshits that are being loud, you want to beat them, fine.
I will.
But you know what remind me of? Hold quick. You know what remind me of? I don't know why. It popped in my head. It reminded me of Bobby's daughter, Melissa, who we love to death. And those two little kids that she has are the sweetest, cutest little. And if they're in Colorado,
not so little anymore.
No, they're young, Andy.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
they're fucking young. And if they're in Colorado,
like high school almost. Yeah.
No, they're not.
What do you mean, Jacob? I think he may be.
He's in high school.
He might be in 8th or 9th grade.
No, they're young, dude. They're young as shit. Andy, stop with my story.
He's a 2007. What would that make him? 14? 15?
Fucking 14 years old.
14, 15. That's like high school.
No, it's not.
8th or 9th grade.
Okay, shut up. Imagine them with their, and she's younger, by the way, too. She's younger than him.
She's younger than him.
So she's like 10, 12. Come
sure.
on.
Oh, yeah.
Andy, you got young kids. Don't fuck with me.
Yeah, go.
So imagine they're in Colorado with Bobby's jersey on. Yeah. And the Blues score, and they're like this, and some fucking fans are like, "You're ugly kids. No wonder your mom." And they did that. I would lose my fucking mind.
Can I say
You're
this?
a goddamn Hoosier, and if people are in the crowd in St. Louis and you hear people beacon other families, then you got to step up and fucking chirp too. I hate that. Now, if it's two 35-year-old fucking dipshits and they're loud, fuck them. Fucking say what you want. Who gives a shit? Yeah. But when it's a family, you're pissing me off now.
I will say
Don't be
this.
fucking Hoosiers.
I was in the stands in Colorado, and like I sense.
What, Andy?
I sense, and we were down like 4th row, whatever. So these are like, you would think, kind of more chill fans or whatever. Yeah. But these are like, they were crazy. I sense so much stress with the Colorado Avalanche fans because there's so much pressure on this team, dude. I mean, there's a ton of pressure on the Colorado Avalanche. They haven't gotten out of the second round since 2002.
Yeah, I know.
Again, we don't know what's going to happen in Game 4. At the time we're recording this, the game is tonight. So we don't know how it's going to play out, but all of a sudden that series gets 2-2, man. You're going to sense they're going to get tight, dude. All the pressure, obviously, is going to be on Colorado. But the fans in Colorado.
Were they cool?
No. They were not, dude.
Did they say something mean to you, Andy?
Well, I'm not wearing like a Blues jersey or anything like that. You
but
know
like,
what I mean?
if there's kids involved, don't fuck with it.
The people that I was with had some Blues stuff on, whatever, and like,
yeah, are they grown ups? I don't give a shit about that.
But I'm just saying, like,
I don't care about that.
They're not perfect either. Doesn't matter where you are. I don't care
kids.
what city you're in. If you're chirping kids,
I'm
not used to.
That's
like,
it. Imagine little Ty. Like, I would lose my mind. They chirp Chloe, I'd lose my mind.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
But I will say this, obviously being in Boston for Game 7 when the Blues won the Cup, and I was working, I was on the ice and whatever afterwards. But even walking through the streets of Boston afterwards, I mean, not through the streets, but, you're going to wherever we were going, whatever.
Ghost town, dude.
No, there's a lot of people, like, leaving the game and stuff.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want my kids having any type of Blues gear.
No, you don't. I know, but you should be able to wear it. The families are off limits. If you want to chirp the fucking dipshit guys that are coming there,
yeah,
loud,
I don't know. This is a very.
I hate that.
This
Andy.
is a isolated incident. That's the way I look.
I know,
at this.
but it still happened, and I saw a bunch of threads, and
I
want to bring it up.
It's not a reflection of
Blues fans are awesome, man. They truly are. I'm telling you, we're intimate with these people. We know them, but there's always some bad apples, and I'm warning all y'all, don't pull that bullshit. Because if I was right there, I'd have you get fucking crawled out. I'd have security fucking drag you out by your hair. You don't chirp kids. Families with kids. We want them to spend money here. We want them to come to St. Louis. St. Louis ain't that good of an attraction, just so you know. And so they're coming from Colorado and they're spending money here. Don't fuck with them.
That was the chirp from Colorado. Go back to your shithole city.
Well, it kind of is. Compared to Denver?
Yeah, I know.
You fucking A right it is.
Denver wasn't too long ago. That was a shithole city, too.
Yeah, Denver's Denver, dude.
You get up in the mountains and whatever, but I remember, like, driving through Denver. It was a ghost town 20 years ago.
Well, it ain't 20. No. There's a lot of things that happened 20 years ago.
But I'm saying, it was a ghost town 20 years ago.
20 years ago, St. Louis was shitty.
You get up.
20 years later, St. Louis is shitty.
Yeah.
So there's just remember that. They're spending money here.
St. Louis may have been better 20 years ago, dude. I mean,
maybe. We got fucking weirdos running the show here that don't know shit.
Downtown.
You could rob you got these 15-year-olds robbing people with illegal guns and fucking robbing them and stealing their car and they're out in a week. St. Louis is fucked.
Oh.
It is.
You're
things.
just a wealth. Can I just get into something real quick?
Shit.
Hold on. I got to ask you this. The little bump from Lucic on Mike Smith. Mike Smith is he's very dramatic, by the way.
Settle down.
Listen, I'm not sold on Mike Smith. I know he's playing, he's had some really good games. He's had some games where he hasn't been very good. And I know he plays the puck well, and he's been around for a long time and whatever. I just, I'll give him credit. He's had some good games.
Yeah.
But I thought Lucic, barely even touched him. Did he flop a little bit there?
Yeah, man.
I think he did.
Look, if I'm a goalie and Lucic's trying to hit me, I'm going to fall down too.
Hey, listen, if I'm a goalie and I see that guy coming, I'm staying in the crease. That's what I'm doing.
No, you can't just stay in the crease and be a pussy. That's why you didn't make it anywhere, because that's your mindset.
I'm just telling you.
You got to go play the fucking
hell
puck.
yeah, I'll admit that. I'll stay in the crease.
Well, how'd that go for you? You stopped playing high school hockey because you thought that way. No, you got to go play the goddamn puck. And if he's going to hit you, he's going to get you.
Lucic wasn't playing in my league. Okay.
No, I know, and you still are pussy. So
I was top 10 scoring 3 years in a row.
That's awesome,
Cam.
I'm just saying. I get it. You fine. You're
Someone stole my jersey though. Actually, I told you.
And your jock. It was a girl, hot girl. I'm sure. Okay, Brady.
Hold on. What's your take on it?
On what?
The hit from Lucic.
It wasn't that big of a deal. I just said it a million times.
Can I tell you who's growing on me? He's become my favorite personality in the playoffs.
Ooh,
Daryl
and his brother Daryl
Sutter.
I love him. Every time I go on anywhere and there's a clip of him
clipping off his comments.
Honest. He's just honest. Now he's going to be the same guy where I walk past if I was a guy on the team and he wouldn't say hi to me. No. I could picture that happening. But everything that comes out of his mouth is well thought out. It's processed, and he says it. And he's got that bitter beer face, but everything he says is interesting. He's the most interesting motherfucker going.
What'd you think of Binnington throwing the water bottle?
Whatever. Throw it at him. I know. Fuck him. He's got a punchable face, man. I told you. His bug eyes. Makes me want to kind of hurt him, but I
heard it hit like a TNT staffer in the hallway. Didn't even come close to hitting.
Just was like,
Kadri.
go fuck yourself.
What do you think of Kadri saying that on television?
Well, if somebody throws a bottle at you,
while you're doing the
I
interview,
thought Kadri played it pretty cool. To be honest with you.
You do?
Yeah. You could be like, what just happened here?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm a victim again. No, he's just like, I think he threw a
what are you doing, dude?
Oh my God, that hurt my ankle.
Hit me with that.
If he did that, I'd be like, you're a fucking loser. But, man, Kadri's dominating this series, homeboy. Who's the best player on the ice?
He's not dominating this series.
Yes, dude.
He was invisible in Game 2. Game 1, he couldn't hit the net.
He's involved in everything.
In Game 3, he had a great game.
Who's the best player in the series so far? Go ahead. Who?
Binnington.
Besides him.
O'Reilly?
No.
Hold on. For Colorado?
No, for everybody.
Oh, in the whole playoffs?
No. For Colorado and fucking St. Louis. Who's the best player in the ice for all 3 games? I got my guy.
Hold on.
Who?
I mean, you're obviously thinking about a Colorado player.
Yeah, who? Handsome.
What, Eric Johnson?
No, Landeskog.
Oh, Landeskog.
He's all over the place.
He was quiet early on, too.
And
he's not healthy
Look at his
either.
goddamn points. He's
he
all over
got
the
the
place.
empty netter the other night.
No.
Settle down.
He-
Terrible
settle down.
analysis. Terrible analysis.
Who are you kidding?
He scored the power play goal in a loss.
Pretty fucking good.
He scored a
He's
power
hitting
play
guys.
goal in a loss, and he scored an empty
He's
netter.
good.
And you're telling me to look at his numbers.
He's got 5 goals. He's got 5 goals in a
Well, he had a great first round.
He's fucking
He's
good.
great.
He's fucking
They're
good.
all great. Makar hasn't scored yet. He's great.
Well, he wasn't great the first 2 games.
Well, either was your boy
Landeskog was better.
Landeskog.
Yeah, he was. He was good. He made shit happen.
All right.
Maybe that was a stupid analogy. Sorry, I'm just trying to kick
But
it
I
to
don't
you a
know.
little
He's
bit.
been good. I mean, listen, they're all good. Colorado's a great team. They're going to have some pressure on
They're
them.
going to have that McDermott dress. They're going to have that fucking McDermott
Whatever.
dress.
Do you feel like,
I like him, though.
because I like the way how Chief plays it cool. They're all saying the right thing. How do you handle that with Kadri?
I don't know. Chief was pissed. He did say...
And I know that
He
listen,
said,
I agree. Like, you have to win the game. That has to be your focus. But you get an opportunity to run him or whatever you got to do. I don't know. You should get in his face
Go
a little
Barbie,
bit,
that
man.
motherfucker.
Because that'll get the crowd behind you too. You know,
The crowd was dead. Dead after
not
that.
when he ran Gerard.
Holy, did he hit Gerard hard.
One of the hardest hits.
Hey, let me tell
of
you
the
guys, too.
playoffs. So what should they do?
All you Saskatchewan.
What should they do, dude?
I'm telling. All you Saskatchewan boys, when you get hit like that, oh, God, it crunched him so bad. You break your sternum. You're like, and then when you think, it hurts when you think about things. That's how painful that is. I like that Samuel Girard, man. He was actually one of the best players on the ice the first 2 games.
He was good.
He had the puck the whole time.
But
He's an automatic breakout.
I've chirped him in the past. He does all these spinoramas
it
and whatever.
works.
I didn't like him in the playoffs last year.
We're not
I
talking
think
about
he's
last
slightly overrated. He looks like
What's he making?
he looks like a men's league player or something.
Oh, Andy. Coming from Andy. Hey, all y'all. If Andy tells you look like a men's league player, you really look like a men's league player.
No, with his visor and his like hair and all this, he just kind of looks.
He's got a visor. Everybody wears a visor.
It's kind of tilted up and whatever. He just kind of has that look, dude.
Andy.
But he's
Andy,
hurt.
don't chirp
and
anybody
we
about
wish
optics.
And we wish him the best.
Don't make me fucking post
But
that
Gerard-
video of me hitting you with no fucking shoulders on.
Hey, Gerard is no, he's good. He's good skater. He's
He
good
was
with
really
the puck.
good
He
the
can
first
move the
2
puck.
games.
I got you. You know, so it is what it is. I like that Lucic though, man.
I love
Who's
Lucic.
going to win that series though? Is Edmonton going to win it? I feel like they might.
I don't know,
Listen,
man.
Calgary. The fact that Dallas took you to 7 games.
Well, when you got a good goalie like Ottinger, man, he dominated.
I
And
know
he dominated quietly throughout the
I know
regular
that. He
season,
did,
too.
He
so
did.
just so you
and
know.
he was like a USA hockey phenom. People don't realize
He's a
how
big
good
boy.
that guy's been for
He's
a long
good.
time.
So sometimes a goalie could get you to a place.
I got
I
you.
want Calgary to win.
Markstrom.
Actually, I don't know what I want.
Markstrom, you think he's getting?
I didn't
Markstrom's
say
been
he's good.
He's been terrible though.
I
He had
just-
a great season. He's been terrible all playoffs.
I like tough teams, man, and I think Calgary's like fucking tough. I love Zadorov. I love Matthew, but I also like Connor McDavid. Like I want them to be successful too, and I kind of want Connor McDavid to show Austin Matthews that I'm the best and I'm good now, and I'm gonna make it to the conference finals. And you're a little bitch ass, and you wear like Disney stuff all the goddamn time. And you just can't get past the first round. I kind of want another superstar to be like, look where I'm at.
You want to know?
I figured it out.
What wins? This is like it's like the old adage.
Connor
We've heard
McDavid's hitting
We've
guys,
heard it
just
for
so you know.
years about will over skill.
Yeah, Will is a
All the teams.
There it is.
Florida, no will.
no Will. I like that word, man.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Florida, no, they don't have it. You know what I'm saying?
There's a Will.
They don't have it. Like St. Louis, they may, who knows? They may end up losing in the second round, or if Colorado loses in the second round. These are damn good teams. This should be the conference final. Okay? It is what it is. It's hard, man, to win when you have to go head-to-head with some of these teams. But Edmonton and the way that Connor McDavid is just willing his team to victory, dude.
I like that, Andy. Good for you. Because when you're knee deep,
It's
in
like
fucking,
who can grind it out the longest and the most.
when you're
you
knee
know?
deep in fucking hardcore drugs and you got to crawl out of a fucking hole.
Oh, is this the comparison you're making?
No, it's not funny, Brody. You can laugh all you want, but I'm dead serious on this. You got to have the will to come out of it. I remember going and
What
talking
about
to
when
people.
you're like 150 pounds overweight?
You
dude?
got to
have
goddamn right
willpower.
And COVID's
dude.
coming. Like you're susceptible. No, there's
Well,
will.
I'm saying when you lose
Will.
weight, people who have lost a lot of weight have willpower.
Yes, I know, but you have to have the will. Like I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna fight this demon. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna bulldoze this blockade. Like the will to do that. You're absolutely right. I'm glad you brought that up. Connor McDavid's like fuck the world.
Yeah.
I'm the
He's
fucking
like, I'm
big dick.
sick of fucking losing.
I'm a big
I'm not
dick.
letting my team lose.
I'm gonna go do my thing. I'm gonna hit guys. I'm gonna bury. I'm gonna take a hit from the door off, shimmy shake him, get off of it.
Could you imagine if he gets to 50 points in the postseason?
Good for him. I want him to succeed. He's busting his ass, man. I chirped him before. He doesn't smile much. He doesn't laugh.
No,
he's very monotone. His house is kind of ugly. All good.
Well, the view.
I'm just saying.
View is
it's
just,
a landmine.
Beautiful view.
It's a landfill.
He's
He's got a view of a landfill. But he's busting his ass and he's being the man.
Yeah,
and he's hitting.
And
he's like,
stepping up. Dude.
He's got the will. You're absolutely. Or Austin Matthews. Mitchie
does.
Now, would you trade Willem Nylander for Zach Hyman?
Hell no.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant.
Okay.
I thought you meant if you were like Edmonton, would you rather have Nylander than Hyman? No, I would. If I was Toronto, oh yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry,
right.
You rather have.
What you were saying.
You rather have.
I'd rather
Hyman.
have Hyman.
Oh my God, yes.
Who fights and competes
Thank
for
you.
space on the ice. Versus the guy who pulls up and then
Thank
scores the
you.
nice, high tip on the
That's
power
what I
play
mean.
and whatever. Everyone wants to pat him on the back, and he's got the beautiful hair. I want the guy that doesn't have the beautiful
Thank
hair
you.
in the playoffs.
I want the ugly motherfucker. I want that ugly. Give me that ugly motherfucker that's got will.
Yeah.
That wants to go in front of the goddamn net.
So Tampa Bay, you know what? They've got it.
They got it.
They've got that will.
Corey Perry's like, fuck the world. Let's go. What? I'll stand in front of the goddamn net.
Oh,
God
Stamkos,
damn.
all those guys.
Stammers, Stevie Y. Eisman right now. He is.
Yeah.
I love these playoffs,
McDonough.
dude. This is fucking warrior motherfucker. Bogosian, great guy.
Yeah.
I party with him at the
Patties.
Patties.
He's got a great reputation.
Cool cat,
People
dude.
love that dude.
I love these cool cats, man. If you're a good dude, and you're, I just like some of these
Okay, but
guys,
here, let me ask you this though, because Chief plays it cool, whatever.
Yeah.
With this whole Kadri thing, he's like, I ain't worried about fucking Kadri. We got to go win. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about his ass.
Gotta go win, homie.
But then you look at the Rangers and you look at Carolina. Listen, Domi takes a slash at the end of the game. So what?
Yeah, Gerard Gallant.
Why is Gerard Gallant flipping out about it? Like, dude, just get off. You just won the game. Like, leave the bench. It's the fucking playoffs.
And Reaver was. We got guys for that. Well,
we got a guy who they couldn't handle.
Well, Reaver was out there.
Yeah. Was he out there?
He was out there at the end of the night.
Well, there you go.
That wasn't even that big of a deal.
He just slashed him. It's the end of. That's kind of what you do. You lose the game. You start a scrum. I didn't mind it from Domi at all. In fact, I think Domi has actually raised his importance and his effectiveness here in the postseason.
I agree with you.
I'd take his ass.
I would take his ass in 2 seconds.
If he can just say, you know what, this is the player I'm going to be. I'm going to be this guy. I'm not going to still think that I can be a legitimate offensive threat, be a productive player, a guy who just produces. No, I'm going to produce. I'm going to chip in.
You're not your daddy.
I'm going to chip in.
But you're better skill-wise than your daddy, and just put it together. You're still tough.
Yeah,
you're still
I'm going to chip in, but I'm going to get in people's faces.
Yeah,
that's how I'm going to play.
Let me be a motherfucker.
That's right.
Let me be a Claude Lemieux. Let me be a Nazem Kadri. Let me be something.
But Turk, what are you doing, dude? You're my guy, and I didn't understand why you were so I think that's the inner.
He was tough
because he was a tough ass dude.
He piss pumped some cats, dude.
I know.
I like Gerard. He came on our podcast. We love him, but tone him down. You got the tough guys. Don't brag about your tough guys. How about they just do it?
But Chief and Otter, they're not standing. I'm well, we're gonna go kill Kadri. He's chirping with D'Angelo, who's on the ice. And I know. Tony D'Angelo, but he's playing pretty well. Actually,
fucking good. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, we don't want his politics."
That's why.
You
listen,
get a guy like that.
if it wouldn't surprise you. See, Carolina, they always look for the cheap ass dudes who can play. Who nobody else wants.
Yeah,
because they're cheap.
Yeah,
and
they're in a jam.
We like Tommy Dundon. He came on with us.
Yeah, the Dun Dog.
And he owns Top Golf, and he's got the golf course and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's kind of cheap, right?
Yeah, we asked him about.
So
that.
I could see them trying to go after Evander Kane or something like that.
Well, why wouldn't you?
I know.
Well,
I'm just saying, hey,
you got to control him though.
Yeah.
Hey, Evander Kane, man, he's doing his thing.
Would you give this guy term?
If I had the right nucleus to control him, yes.
Well, does Edmonton have that?
Looks like it.
Well, right.
Well, right now it looks like it. Okay, wait.
Yeah,
when push comes to shove, and you're in the biggest you're in the biggest part of your hockey career in the most significant fucking games, and he's showing up. Then yeah.
Yeah, but desperate times call for desperate measures.
Well, then that's when the desperate people and the guys figure it out.
He needs that next contract.
Yeah, well, fine.
What do you think of Matthew chirping his ass for his money and everything?
Well, that's what you get when you spend all your money.
Yeah.
That's what you fucking get. Don't be a fucking You're not Floyd Mayweather, motherfucker. That guy's worth $500 million. Mm-hmm. You were making like
Matthew's
$6.
one of those guys. He will go for the jugular. Okay,
yeah,
when it comes.
I would have done the same thing, and then all of a sudden the fans in Calgary are throwing them dollar bills and the bench.
Oh
and shit.
yeah, no, there was like a.
Hey, you put yourself in that situation. That's what you get, homie.
A loony.
Big throwing loonies and toonies at him. Like, there you go, hit him in the back of the helmet.
I know.
Well, that's what you
That's
get. That's
gotta be embarrassing, dude, in front of your teammates.
Well, then don't embarrass yourself. I got embarrassed before.
I had no problem.
I've done stupid shit. I don't have any problem with that.
No.
You know what's bad is you say something racist or you do something like homophobic.
Can I apologize to the listeners too? I thought that the Tampa Bay Florida series, I thought that would be the better of the two series.
Embarrassing.
But you know what? These 9-6 games and everything, it's like watching. You watch St. Louis, Colorado, then you turn around and watch that other. It's like a completely different game, dude.
The St. Louis, Colorado series is a big dick series. That's what it is.
It is.
Yep. So, anyway.
I'll give Eric Johnson a shout-out, too, man.
EJ, what's up, baby? I love you, man. I had such a good time with you, man. And you know we had a good time together. I love you. I love you. Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
He's doing good, man.
Yeah.
I love EJ. We had goddamn good times together. Motherfuck. Except for the golf cart incident, which is whatever.
We talked
and
about
you know what? He
that
would have scored that empty netter the other day. He would have had a little bit more strength in his knee.
I know.
But we fucked him over back in 2008
That's
at
why
the Lake
he didn't
Ozarks.
score it?
That's why he didn't score it. We love you, EJ. We're fucking off. It's
Brady's
all good.
having a good time up there in Calgary.
It's too much. Andy, it's too much. He's gritty. It's gritty Kachuk. And I can't believe Big Walt's letting him do that.
Well, what's he supposed to do, dude? He's a grown-ass
How
man.
about you go hide in the goddamn suite and not, like, we know you love your
That's his natural personality.
Andy, I know.
It's his natural personality.
He's the cool.
He's not really doing anything that, like, people who know Brady,
Andy.
Let me say this. No one's surprised to see Brady being Brady. That's
We love
basically
Brady.
what he's doing.
But
you know?
he is on a different team, and they're the worst team in the fucking league. And he's been partying all summer, and he's got film of him doing karaoke and all that. And now he's gritty for the Flames, and it's just too loud. He's got beers.
What's the dog's name for the Flames?
I don't know.
Craig McTavish pulled his tongue out years ago.
I just don't know. But what I'm saying is, like, go in this box. It's not about you, Brady. It's about your brother. And if I'm, like, on Ottawa, and I'm like, you love them that much? Don't you love us? Like, if I want my captain to hate everyone, I don't want him to I know you love your brother, but you guys should hate each other on the ice. But now I feel like you're just kind of connected too much. And if I'm on Ottawa, and that's my captain, he loves the Flames more than my own fucking team. It's like, settle down.
I don't have a huge issue with it. I mean, people are saying, listen, it's getting
too much.
It's getting the NHL a lot of attention.
I can't believe Walt's letting him do that.
It's getting the NHL a lot of attention.
And that's all good.
I told Big Walt, I said, listen, I'd like to.
What if Brady goes and
doesn't score? And listen, all y'all out there, don't steal my idea. Because I'm going to produce, like, Keeping Up with the Kachucks. It's like the Kardashians, man. We can have our own reality show, make millions of dollars.
And they're not going to score as many goals because it's going to be too much. No, but, like, you're in Ottawa. You're the captain of Ottawa. We know you love your brother, but just just don't be too loud with it. Like, you're gritty.
He's having fun. It's all good. He's a young kid, too, man. Don't forget that.
Andy, I know.
Yeah.
And he's a captain of a different team in Canada.
You have no fun in life. No fun. Look at you.
I've had more fun than anybody in the league. I partied harder than anybody in the league.
That's not true.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You want to compare it? Who partied harder than me?
Sheldon Surrey did.
Yeah, sure he did. Oh, fuck.
I
wasn't married. I had nothing.
Kevin Stevens.
No, I was doing the same thing as him, homeboy. I just didn't want to fuck a hooker.
Is that like a badge of honor?
I just
to
want
say I was the hardest partier?
No, it almost killed me. It done killed me twice. I overdosed twice in front of my parents and my wife. So go fuck yourself.
Why don't you go speak to teams?
Because they don't invite me. Andy.
Well, we're going to start a company where we go around and speak to teams.
I'm doing okay right now, but if they want me to speak to the teams, I will. But I've done overdose
tell
twice.
me what you would say, what your message would be?
Well, what do they want me to talk about?
Well, just
I talk about anything. When we talk about women, when we talk about drugs, when we talk about what?
What are you going to talk about women? What are you going to say?
I'll tell you how to deal with women.
I'll handle that part of the
you and your fucking. You and I was in Arizona, and we and my buddies went camping. Yeah, you're hanging out with chicks. You're hanging out with tons of chicks. I'll do that, man. I've been through a lot.
I'll handle that part of the presentation. I'll let you handle like the dangers.
Don't tell me anybody partied harder than me. Don't you fucking do it.
Well, somebody probably did.
Oh yeah, who?
Well, I'm just saying.
Who?
I mean, it's like.
Well, go ahead. Who? Let's compare it. Let's see what I was doing every fucking day.
Dean McCammon probably did.
I love him, man. Good Christian boy. Yeah, he partied really hard. Great guy.
He probably did.
Dean McCammon.
Yeah, I'm probably
Great guy.
Zach Hyman, probably.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Listen, again, I'm not bragging about it. I'm just letting you know.
All you
twice.
Edmonton fans who were just all over my guy Kenny Howland, by the way. Okay, he made some great moves, dude.
He did.
And he didn't get another goalie. They get to the third round, dude. That's a successful
I like
season.
Kenny's
my guy.
I like him, dude.
So, listen.
I'm starting to like Connor McDavid a little more, too.
He signed Hyman. He signed Evander Kane.
Yes, he did. Risked it, rolled the dice with him. Fucking big-time hardcore.
So
he's doing it, man.
You guys all trying to, crush my guy and whatever because his goalies couldn't stop the damn puck.
Yep.
Although I did call the series, the first game of the series, the Battle of Alberta. It was the battle of the terrible goaltenders. Like these goalies are just.
It was a battle of the best goaltenders in the first round.
They were awful, dude. That's just kind of embarrassing, to be honest with you. So anyway, all right. Well, we'll see how it goes tonight.
Yeah, see how it goes.
And we'll get back into this.
We love all you guys, though.
Yes,
and girls.
Yes,
we have a lot of girls listening. We love all y'all.
Yeah.
Pardon my language. I love you.
Very close with me, as a matter of fact.
Is that why they listen? Is because of you?
They reach out to me all the time.
Is it because of you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet you're right on that.
No, you think it's because of you?
Nah. No. They're like, fuck, I used to love watching Andy fucking play high school hockey. I am obsessed with him. I like when he interviews us guys about his injuries in between the period. I love him. That's why they listen.
Yeah.
It's not because of me.
Yeah.
It's because of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want every owner to have
24% women.
I want every owner to have success and make money. The
owners. Ain't going to happen. Listen, I don't want cheap owners. If you're a fucking cheap ass, I don't want you making money.
Like, what's Carolina's excuse? Say they get to the third round, and who knows? Maybe they get to the Stanley Cup final. Like, can they truly go around being cheap ass, claiming, oh, we're in the small market? Like, they got to be making money, dude.
The Devils kind of did it.
They're cheap too.
The Devils did it. Homie.
Can I tell you, I'm down on your guy Lou a little bit.
Why?
Listen. My feeling is Barry Trotz, who's been doing this for a long time, was probably like, you know what? I don't really need this guy like breathing down my neck. Like I'm a very accomplished head coach, one of the winningest head coaches of all time.
I get you.
I think I'm second in the history of the game in games coached behind the bench.
Yep, I get you, buddy.
And I'm watching this Devin Taves do his thing right now for a couple second-round picks in Colorado, making $4.1 million. Maybe the most underrated player going in the playoffs right now is this Taves.
Yeah.
He is so damn good.
He's very good.
And you didn't replace him. You gave me Chara, who's like 50 years old or whatever. And I know he's got the name on the back of the jersey and whatever. I think Barry Trotz was like, all right, you know what? It's time for me to move on.
Maybe.
So Lou.
Hard to deal with Lou sometimes.
What's he going to do this forever?
Maybe. He doesn't age, that guy. He drinks hot water.
Is that what it is?
He eats anything.
Oh, he drinks hot water.
He drinks hot water.
Like no honey or lemon?
I think a little lemon in that mug.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure he puts... Actually...
Well, tell me about Lou, will you? Because you played for him, didn't you?
Yeah, well,
tell me more about him.
The honey that's in my cheese board, too, by the way. I'll give you some of that, too.
I don't want your shit. I studied Lou more than anybody, dude. I studied every move he made. Yeah, well, I had to.
You act just like him, let me tell you.
Me and Lou? Yeah. I hope not. Okay. I'm going to make some money.
You really resemble him. I'm glad you learned all that from him.
I was pretty successful for being a disaster, and he helped me.
He did help
10 years,
If you were in a jam tonight, would you call him?
Depends on what kind of jam. I'm probably going to call my shit-kicking fucking... No, I'll call my hillbilly boys with pipe-hitting motherfuckers that owe me favors. That were begging to do me a favor.
Do you know this dude put in a sprinkler system for me? I gave him $1,500 just as a down payment.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he's calling me, asking me, he wanted... This is before I put in... This is before Santiago put in the sprinkler system that I have now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Gave this guy $1,500.
Yeah.
And then he's calling me, asking me for money because his truck broke down.
Oh, you get owned.
And then he's saying, I don't have the equipment, I don't have a truck and whatever. Would never gave me my money back.
You get owned by people, Andy.
So if you got this hillbilly people out there,
I'm not doing
send me their number, will you?
I'm not doing that.
I'd like to talk to them if I can.
If somebody fuck with Chloe, I'll call
the
my
gym
shit
teacher
kicker.
did.
I'll call the shit kicker.
No, the gym teacher.
I ain't there yet. He embarrassed her a little bit. I ain't there yet. He does something weird to her.
Remind me what you said to him real quick. Just,
settle the fuck down, fucking hippie. Call out a girl.
I don't think he's a hippie.
I don't give a fuck what he is. I'm calling him a hippie. You put her in a corner. All she does is the right thing.
Don't ever do that to my daughter.
I know. I know.
in the corner.
For fucking having her mask
like
come
not
down.
staring like into the wall corner like the old
like
school. He just made her like stand over there.
Yeah, like an
so
asshole.
then she went and sat on the bleachers, and he's like, "No,
Oh, Andy,
get off the bleachers. You got to go stand over there."
Don't get me started on that because I'm not there. I don't have kids. I
She's A+ student, dude.
I know. That's what pisses me off. So just it's all good, but I can't call my pipe hitting motherfucker.
Well, I just want to let you know because
if he does anything weird
to the podcast,
if he does anything weird,
dude, oh my god,
that's when I make
that.
Well, that's when I make the phone call, dude.
Well, this was weird.
No, this is like she's got to learn from that.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she still has to learn.
What do you learn?
You learn that some people are dicks, and they're going to put you in weird spots, and you have to get out of it. That's what you learn.
No, I told her one ear and out the other.
That's what you learn from that. That's it.
Like one ear and out the other.
Then just do your thing, and then be okay. Don't get down upon it, because it's all about confidence.
Normally,
but if weird shit happens, I'll call the shit kickers.
Yeah, normally I would maybe ask, hey, normally if it was earlier in the year, I'd be like, hey, why'd you do that? And if I saw him, like if she said, hey,
why'd you do that?
I can't even tell you who he is. But if she
know.
pointed him out to me, I may be like, "Hey, dude, why'd you
then that's
tell
fine.
my daughter to go?"
Then that's fine. And he's gonna be like, "Well, that's the school policy.
Don't
embarrass her.
I'd be
like
that. Don't do that. Okay.
She's a great student. Don't fucking embarrass her like that. Or we got problems.
Yeah, don't do that.
But I can't call the shit kickers for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's other things I will.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't there yet.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully never there. I don't want to ever have them do me a favor. But they're ready to do me a favor.
Hairclub.com, baby.
Yeah.
800-279-7878. 800-279-7878. That is the phone number. Go to hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. That's our landing page, Cam.
Yes. Figure it out, Andy.
Landing page. You go there and it tells you everything you need to know about Hair Club and how it can make a difference in your life. And that's another reason why I hate the Florida Panthers. Hair Club spends all this money on you guys.
And they suck.
And you're going to turn around and do this to Hair Club?
Exactly, dude. I see that everywhere.
Oh, well, that's, yeah. And they're going to treat Hair Club like this?
I know. That's what I was saying.
Claude Giroux?
Figure it out. Pussies. They are kind of pussy-ish. They don't even block shots.
I don't think
I like
should
Gudis.
say that.
What do I care?
Gudis is
what
cool.
Are they gonna
he
do?
Came on with us.
I like Gudis,
He's
man.
my guy. Hairclub.com, 800-279-7878. Go to our landing page and go there now and turn your lack of hair into beautiful locks.
Yeah, man.
Flowing hair.
It's the best feeling in the world looking at yourself and you're like, it's growing. Yeah. Confidence.
Do you do that? Do you look at yourself
yeah,
a
man.
lot? Okay.
Damn right.
Yeah,
then I look at my bald spot in the back of my head.
Well,
And I'm like, oh, boy.
pretty embarrassing.
Oh, boy.
Hey, nothing to be embarrassed about, actually, because there is a resolution.
I got to get that done.
Solution for you. Over 1,200 locations. Get there and get there now. Call them, ask the questions, and, whatever your questions are, they'll answer them for you. Very, very cool people.
Very nice people.
They love me, by the way, Cam, over there.
I bet they do, Andy.
800-279-7878. Hairclub.com. We love having Hair Club as our title sponsor.
Damn right.
Here on the Cam Strick Podcast, presented by Hair Club. Also brought to you by CarShield. CarShield.com, Cam. Mention that promo code CAM, and you're going to save 10%. And I know
wrong with that?
It's just a little embarrassing, dude. We may have to switch that to Cam and Strick, just to
then fucking do it. I'm sick of you bitching about
get
it.
people to really.
The women love it.
Do they?
It's easy. Of course they do.
Well, they should love CarShield regardless. It's because it gives you that protection.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
You always feel protected, right?
Yes. Goddamn right.
800-857-2481, Cam. You never know when something's going to go down, dude. Ever, actually.
Even with your stupid
There's
Volvo.
no warning. It's like an EF0, dude. No warning.
EF0. There
Is
could
that-
be an EF5 coming at you, homeboy.
So EF0 is the lowest.
It's about just EF0. It's called the Enhanced Fujita Scale. This Japanese
Dude.
guy, a Japanese guy built this thing. It's about destruction and damage.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever a tornado happens, the way they rank it is about the damage. And sometimes it's hard to
Is there
rank.
anything less than an EF0?
No, it's
That's
called
the
a
lowest.
headwind then.
That's the lowest
And the EF0 is
Okay,
the
well,
lowest.
this
and that
EF0
pussy fucking tornado, and you're bitching about that, you're lucky.
Let me just say this. It may have been higher than that then.
No, it
because
wasn't.
My Adirondack chairs, they're black, by the way.
They're gone. That's a 0. That could have been a headwind that took those
It's
fucking
amazing
things
that
out of
they
there.
didn't hit my cedar beams in the front of the house, and it did not.
Hey, listen.
And it didn't hit.
If an EF2 hits your house, you're gonzo. That little house.
Little house.
Dude, it ain't a little house, but it ain't fucking secure with brick or fucking or anything like that. That thing's going to be fucking dunzo.
Dude, it didn't even, not a shingle is missing.
Because there's a pussy
But
tornado.
my Adirondack chairs are up in the woods. I got to go find them, by the way. Out of service, no power for 48
Your house
hours.
will be dunzo.
It was that bad.
Dunzo.
So anyway, but luckily everybody is okay, and that's what's most important. Joe Vitale, by the way, man, our boy, dude, his house got rocked too. It was in that path, dude.
I know exactly.
He lives straight down, probably 5 miles straight shot.
EF0. It was an EF0. It was a high.
There was a EF1 in the area too. So
it wasn't. It was in southern Illinois.
Yeah,
and,
it was.
And EF1 would have done significant more damage.
Lots of damage.
So don't fucking lie to people.
Chaminade High School, which is my backyard.
All boys school. Expensive all boys school where I'd say 90% of the boys that come out of there are sexually frustrated.
That's not true.
And B,
Brady and
aren't as
Matthew
successful.
Tkachuk went there.
And they're good to go anyway. And B, they're not as successful as what you paid for that fucking high school. They got a high school and like, what do I do now?
Keep doing your thing, Brady.
What a waste of money that was. And they're sexually frustrated. They're like Pepe Le Pew when they go into college.
Chris Weidman went there too. Ben Bishop went there.
Yeah, they're hockey players. It's
Chris
different.
Butler.
The normal kid's like, I don't see girls. Where are girls? Oh, I'm in college now. Hi, I can touch you.
Jason Tatum from the Boston Celtics went there.
Those are you're talking about the unique athletes.
Bradley Beal from the Washington Wizards.
But look. Yeah.
Do you know he knocked on this dude's door? Who I know? Bradley Beal plays for the Washington Wizards, makes probably $200 million a year.
Mm-hmm. No, not a year, but yeah.
Well, they sign 4-year deals for
Andy, they don't make $200 million a year.
Okay, but they sign
fuck off.
And with his endorsements, and
he's probably makes $35 million. He makes $35 million.
Okay, so he knocks on this guy's door because he was looking to build a house, and he's like, you know what? Here's a house that I built, and it has a basketball court inside the house. So here's a floor plan if you want to look at it. And he's like, no, I don't want you to build. I want that house. So he's like, okay. So Bradley Beal did, and his boys or whatever, brother, I don't know, his wife, somebody, went and knocked on the door and said, hey, I want to buy your house. And the guy was like, okay, well, can I give you my number? And he gave him his number, and he paid for it right there. Bought the house.
6-story, Andy.
Yeah.
Badass.
So that's how it works.
Well, he probably paid overpriced right now in the market, so that's a stupid thing to do.
Well, no, because he got it. Well, maybe you have to overprice it because.
Well, why would you buy a house when you're overpriced? Why would you buy it?
He doesn't care about that. He's making $200 million a year.
You always care, man.
Making $200 million a year.
He's not making $200 million a year. Would you fuck off with that? He's making $30 million a year. It's a big goddamn difference. $200 million a year. Jesus.
I bet you Dan Bellman's probably selling $200 million of cars a year.
Goddamn right.
Oh, yeah. Dale, everybody over there, man, making shit happen. Say what's up to Kenny, too.
Hey, Kenny, what up, homeboy? What's up, baby?
What's up?
Hey, can you give Andy a new fucking car? He's driving that stupid fuck Volvo. Stupid ass Volvo.
I just had to get the brakes fixed.
How much did that cost?
Okay, you want another real story?
Yeah.
The guy goes.
Not really.
Okay, the guy goes. He called me to say that it was ready, and he goes, "Hey, I'll take 10% off if you get me a Ryan O'Reilly signed puck."
Oh, okay.
I'm like, okay, well, that'll cost you 20% off.
Oh, there it is. There's my guy.
And so
there's my guy in the field.
Did you not hear me say that?
You know what? Oh, that's why Andy's my right hand man.
So he took 20% off. I gotta get him.
Andy's a go-getting fucking business.
I gotta get you the puck now. I gotta get him.
Andy, I entertain people, but I can't do that to people for some reason. Yeah. You can. I don't have that thing in me where I'm like, I don't get taken advantage of anymore by any means because I had a company call me like, can you do this? It's for this charity, and I'm like, you gotta pay me.
Yeah, right.
This is on a Thursday night. I gotta get up at 4:30 in the morning.
I tell some of these other guys, these former players and whatever, stop doing free shit.
Yeah, I know.
Because it affects all of us. I go, you know how if you take a terrible deal and the NHLPA is like, hey, you're fucking the next guy.
You're right.
When you're a player and you're doing free shit,
you fuck everything.
That fucks all of us because they're like, well, you're not a player, so if the player's doing it for free, you should do it for free.
I know.
Come on now.
I know. It is that way, and we all have to make money, and we have families that we have to support, although Amy has 3 kids, I don't. But, I don't do anything for free anymore.
Would you pay tuition for your damn cat?
I don't do anything.
Pay tuition for your fucking dog?
I don't do anything for free.
What are you talking about over here?
I'll help you with stuff, but I don't. If you want my time.
Don't you dare do anything for free.
You want my fucking time on a Thursday night from 7 to fucking 10 at night.
You better pay.
You better pay me money. Okay. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, no, I got you.
I really can't.
I got you. 0-carb life pizza.
Man, I'm fucking starving.
Oh, real quick, Bellman, they're in Troy.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Buick GMC. They got the Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
You need a new car. What are you doing?
They will pay above Kelly Blue Book too.
Volvo. No, it's just such a normal nerd car.
It's a racing series.
No, it doesn't matter. It ain't going fast.
Actually, we just call it the R series. And it's black on black. It's very, very nice.
It is kind of cool looking, but it's still a Volvo. Like, I just would never get a Volvo for some reason.
Dude, the pizza. 2 different kinds.
Andy, I'm starving.
Buffalo style or beef crumble. What's your favorite?
I want both now. Starving.
Dude, I've been telling people reaching out to me because I told them flat out.
Starving.
I'm like, this is how you have to make it. I know the instructions. Take the Cam Strick instructions. Raise that heat.
Yeah, put
500
that
degrees.
oil on that mug.
Yes.
And get creative with it, too. Like, I like getting creative. I get these meals in the mail. It's like
in the mail?
Yeah. They drop it off.
Like Meals on Wheels?
No, I'm not homeless. No, it's more like gobble meal and stuff where you pick out what you want, and they come in this, like, refrigerated
it's very
package.
Healthy, yeah.
Kind of.
They have vegan stuff or no?
They're not that nerdy. But the point is, like, I'll bring it in and I'll, like, mix and match different things, and I'll look at my pantry and I'll add on to it and stuff like that. Yeah. This is what I'm doing with this pizza now.
Good.
Because I'm not that healthy.
I got to tell people about it, though, because Zero Carbs crust is carb, gluten, sugar, dairy, grain, and egg-free.
God, I'm hungry.
It's diabetic and celiac friendly and also great for keto diets, Cam.
Cool. I'm not into all that shit.
Are you keto?
I
what does keto even mean? Do you know that?
You don't do this or something?
Oh, do you call it protein or protein? Because they're saying you can say that. You can call it protein as instead of protein.
That's cool.
How much protein are you getting?
Man, I don't know, homie.
Yeah, you look like you'd say that. Actually, there's nothing wrong with saying it.
No, do your thing.
Because you know what? When you have 75 grams of protein in a 12-inch crust, I mean, that is some serious protein.
God, am I fucking hungry.
Are you?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Been up for a long
Comes
time.
in buffalo style. Comes in beef crumble.
Oh, I want that buffalo style.
Listen, hey, here's a little Stricky advice. Okay,
God.
let me give you. Brush it with a little olive oil, dude.
Everybody knows that.
No,
dude.
I'm telling you to. Well, some people are listening for the first time. Like Kent Hughes, give him a shout out.
He what's up, homie? He was actually really cool, man.
He's cool as shit.
Yeah, he's cool as shit.
Although I told Cam all the questions he should have asked after the interview.
It's hard, these new GM guys are tough for me to
He's
like.
Cool,
I don't know how to like play
He's
it.
cool.
You know, this is kind of your kind of interview.
It's great tasting pizza, and it's better for you, dude. It's guilt free, man. You have guilt when you eat pizza?
No, I have guilt when I do other things.
Oh, brother. Do you? Like, what makes you guilty, Cam?
When I have a hardcore weekend of
oh, God.
And then my brain doesn't work.
Okay, here's where you can find it. ZeroCarbLife.com. Do you know how to spell life, Cam?
Yeah, Andy, I do. You're being ignorant.
No, how do you spell life?
L-I-F-E.
Not in this one, dude.
L-I-Y-F.
No, L-Y-F-E.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zero Carb Life.
That's what I fucking
it's
said.
It's L-Y-F-E. So that's
man,
how you
I said
spell
that,
it.
man.
Use the promo code Cam Strick. You're going to save 15%, baby.
Damn.
So we're saving you money. Cam Strick, use that discount code. Cam, tell people to use our discount code.
Well, goddamn right.
Everything we do.
Everything. Do it. It helps us out too, guys, by the way.
Yeah,
and we got to keep this motor going.
It does.
We bring the heat for all y'all.
ZeroCarbLife.com. It's frozen pizza, and they're standalone crusts. You can buy them individually. All right, the Better Business Bureau, man. We love the BBB.org. Say hi to Natasha.
Hey, girl.
Say hi to Chris.
Chris, what's up?
There you go. The Better Business Bureau, man. I got so many different things I can start with when talking about them. When you go to BBB.org, you can find companies you can trust, and you can learn about the newest scams impacting consumers in our area. Say, what? People are doing that? Oh, like that guy who did that to me.
What?
The Better Business Bureau, that guy. The scam artist who I gave $1,500 to and never got my money back.
Man, you get owned because you look vulnerable.
Why would he do that to me?
Because look at you. They look at you and they know that you're just like, hi, I'm doing things for Bally's. And they're like, I'm going to rip this motherfucker off.
He wouldn't have known that.
And they're going to be like, what's he going to do to me? He doesn't know any shit kickers.
Reviews for businesses and charities. Hey, it's available 24/7, Cam. Were you sleeping at 8:30 last night?
Yeah.
Were you? Because you didn't return my text, dude.
Well, the reason why I didn't ignore you, because I tweeted something out right when you texted me, so I was up.
Oh.
If you want to calculate everything, but you asked me a stupid thing, and I had to like.
I needed you to do something.
Leave my show.
There's times when I have to be Cam's boss. I just have to let him know.
And sometimes I have to say no, dude, because it's not about. I say yes to everything. Let's be honest. I'm always here on time.
When you go to BBB.org, you can find easy-to-use consumer tips for every situation, Cam, like buying a car, looking for a mortgage, understanding your cell phone contract, and more.
I got
you need some
on
help
that
with that
goddamn thing. I put my foot down on that motherfucking
terrible.
thing.
It's actually terrible.
That was fucking weird. I put my foot down on that. I don't need to deal with mortgages. My cars are paid off. I'm chilling with my baby puppies and my kitty cat.
So anyway, bbb.org, go there. Yeah. Mars Blade, dude. Our boy Austin Matthews.
When's my shit
around.
coming?
It's coming soon, dude. I got you the size 10.
That's what I want. Size 10. I got the hard wheels and the good bearings and shit.
Yeah, that's like, you think like you're talking like cool guy, like a roller hockey guy when you talk about hard wheels. It's just whatever they put on there are the right wheels.
No, it's not.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if it's hard wheels
Andy,
or
that's
not.
the stupidest comment ever.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah. Take those soft wheels that are made for roller hockey and go on your asphalt and wear them and see if you go 15 fucking feet. No, you need hard wheels for asphalt. I'm not going and playing roller hockey with a bunch of dipshits high sticking me in my fucking face.
Would you want to go play roller hockey again?
No, I want to skate around my neighborhood with my shirt off and get all the fucking cougars going crazy.
The thing about these Mars blades, and people need to know, they make the roller blade, right? But they also make the ice hockey holders, which is kind of like what they call toques, but they can't say toques.
Say toque, man.
They're not allowed to.
Tux.
Because like Rollerblade is like a company too. That's like the original, but we just call them all Rollerblades, but that's like an original company also. So the toques, and so it's like these rollerblades, Cam, you feel like you're on ice.
Where are they at? I want mine.
Way.
Because the women folk in my neighborhood are like, I want Cam cruising around.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
My wife doesn't want it, but I'm going to do it.
So check, Cam, they'll be here very soon. You got size 10? You know what size I got?
3.
7.5.
Women's. You're just little in every aspect.
No, because ice skates, and they're like real ice skates.
I wear a size 12 shoe.
And you wear smaller size.
I wear a size 12 shoe.
Yeah, so I'm like 9.5 shoe. I got a pair for Ty, too.
Look how little your feet are.
I got a pair for Ty.
You got little hands. You got little feet. You got a lot of things.
I should get some for Brody, too. Brody, I got to hook you up.
Brody's been wearing these stupid sandals. Are you going to rollerblade around?
Dude, we're going to hook up, Brody.
Yeah, Brody needs new fucking get up, man.
So, anyway, check out Mars Blade, dude. We love having them on the team. Welcome, Par, to the team. Or Pear. I'm sorry. I said Par last week. They told me, dude, it's Pear.
Pear?
Say Pear. Yeah,
hey, Pear.
He's in Sweden, dude.
Did I make fun of him?
No.
Who's the one guy I made fun of?
I don't know.
His name's like Jag or something?
Oh, no,
Tag.
That's my boy. And then
He get mad at me?
Oh, they were laughing
What's
their
a
ass
fucking
off.
goofy-ass
No,
name?
they were laughing their ass off. They're the best. Hey, listen, the Goodwin family, they're the best people.
I'm sorry about that, but your name's kind of
I didn't like that you did that. You should not have done that.
His
they
name?
were in Belfast, too. And they were
that's my jam.
And they were, no, it's not. It's his jam now because of the way you talked about him.
What did I say?
And they were in Nottingham, dude.
Oh, my baby.
I know.
That's my baby.
And for you to talk about him like that.
What did I say?
I don't know. Very disrespectful.
I said his name was fucked up.
I'm going to start
His name's Tag.
Yeah, I may have to find
like a cartoon character name.
So Mars Blade, dude, Austin Matthews, he's part of the company, but they got a bunch of dudes, Nyquist and
they got some cats.
and Zetterberg and Cronwall and Backlund, all these dudes. Michael Backlund, I like his game too.
Yeah,
from Calgary.
Calgary.
You can tell how all these guys skate. You can tell the way they skate, whatever, that they probably, just using the Mars Blade has advanced and enhanced their overall skating. So check it out. Mars Blade, man, we love everything they're doing. We love partnering with these guys as well. Wait till you see me rolling around, Cam, the city.
All your nerd neighbors are going to be like, oh, my God, what's he doing out here? We have things to do. He doesn't have a mask on. Oh, my God, I might call the police on him. That's what's going to happen in your nerd fuck neighborhood.
Wait till I have a GoPro on that motherfucker.
Oh, yes. Okay. I can see.
Okay.
You're like a toe dragon.
Follow me. I'll have my own Instagram.
And your street has a lot of fucking potholes in it, too. For the wealthy part of fucking
That's
true.
We're trying to create a
neighborhood,
HOA.
There's no fucking potholes in my
I don't like that. I'm not going to lie about it. The streets need to be fixed.
And your neighbors are goofy.
All right, Kent Hughes, man, the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens. This guy is cool as shit, super successful.
Totally cool.
Was living the life as a big-time agent. Le Cavalier, Bergeron, all these dudes, Sammy Blais, Marco Scandella too, but he's got Kris Letang. Dude, he had
some big boys.
Taylor Hall, bunch of dudes, man.
Big boys.
Big time agent. And Taylor Hall, by the way, we should have told him about what you say about my son.
Your son looks like Taylor Hall. He does.
Taylor Hall.
Taylor Hall visited St. Louis.
And now he's really living the dream.
Ago. What?
Now he's really living the dream. Hey, all the general managers, take note of that. They basically take pay cuts. the successful ones to become GMs.
Well, it depends on how successful you are before you come.
I know.
Like usually you're like
if you're
assistant GM,
Paperson or something like that.
Yeah. I kind of wouldn't want to do it.
Be a GM?
Fuck no.
Montreal Canadiens, I would.
I'd rather be an agent and do nothing and actually visit my family and make money.
Well, dude, sometimes you want the new challenge. And to be and have your name on the Stanley Cup. There's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I get that part.
Okay.
I do.
And be a winner, man. And you're in the mix. You're in the competition. Let's hear from Kent Hughes.
Yeah.
On this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast, presented by Hair Club, baby. Enjoy. The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. You know, nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and you know right off the bat you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now to the interview.
Hello.
Hughesy.
Kent.
Yes, how we doing?
What's going on today?
What's going on?
Listen, do you ever wake up and be like, man, oh yeah, I'm not an agent anymore. I can't just like do whatever the hell I want to do today. I got like real work to do. Even though, listen, I'm never going to chirp agents. Agents are amazing in terms of what they do. You got a very busy schedule, very important work. But the GM job, it's different than being an agent out there, right? I mean, completely different.
No question. Yeah, and I kind of answered to myself, well, to the clients, but to myself at the same time. So now it's a little different game.
Yeah. How's it been for you? Just the overall adjustment. Good. I mean, do you love it? Is it kind of what you thought it would be? Or do you sit back and be like, man, these GMs act like their job is so hard. It ain't that hard.
No, I love it. It's been a blast. My wife had said to me years ago, we were walking home and my boys were out. I wasn't coaching them anymore nor my daughter. But I was coaching another group of kids. And she said, I need some help with this. And I said, I don't have any time. She started to laugh and said, you should write a book. I said, well, what kind of a book should I write? She goes, I don't know, but the title is going to be How to Get Away Without Doing Shit, unless it involves hockey.
Hey.
So.
Welcome to our world.
Hey, as soon as Jeff Gordon, as soon as he got hired in Montreal, I know you guys knew each other a little bit. Like, were you thinking, wow, this could be an opportunity maybe I might be interested in? Or when he called, were you like completely shocked, weren't expecting it?
It's hard to describe. He had reached out a couple of times when he was in New York to ask if I would consider going, and I had said no. The first time he reached out about Montreal, I said no again, and he called back and he's like, "Listen, I'm offering you the GM job of the Montreal Canadiens. This is a little different. You need to think a little longer before you dismiss it." I didn't say no for lack of interest. I guess it was just too much of it was just trying to wrap my head around, really, am I going to do this? Am I going to pack up and move back to Montreal? And my kids are here, everything else. And, there just seemed to be a lot to kind of unwind to be able to do it. And he called back another time and said, just like you to go through the process. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I think he, like the guys that roped me into coaching after my kids were gone, I think he knew once I committed to going through the process, I probably wouldn't go back.
Yeah. Okay, who's the one client you called to say, hey, listen, should I do this?
I talked to a number. Patrice Bergeron had texted me saying, I'm reading rumors here. What should I make of it? And I said, just rumors. And he texted back saying, I know Jeff, because obviously he was connected to Jeff in Boston. And he said, I'm guessing there's more than just rumors. And I said, yeah, what do you think? And he gave a very Patrice-like, weigh both sides. But if you want to do this, it would be great. The guy who called when he heard about it and said, you got to do it, was Vinny.
Yeah. And he's like, hire me, bring me with you.
Yeah.
I think right now he's wishing that we didn't hire him, because we're every day we're calling him saying, hey, go watch this guy on video. He was over in Helsinki with us. So we're putting him to work.
Hey, but all those years being on the other side of the negotiating table, like, what was your opinion of the position, like of general managers in general in terms of what they do? Like, what were you thinking? And like, was your perception, like, were you accurate or did you completely have it wrong?
I don't think I had it completely wrong. I knew the job was 24/7, 365 days. On the agent side, I think there are pockets of respite where you can get away and get a little bit of a break. You don't have that on the agent side. As far as running a team or managing a team, I guess from the agent perspective, we really see the hockey piece of it. How do you, at the risk of being crude, how do you manage your assets? I guess there's the whole other piece of just managing a group of people in the hockey operations department and medical staff and everything else that comes with it that, we don't think about it because we're just focused on the hockey side of it. And there's obviously more to it.
Always more to it. And let me ask you, playing in Montreal is one of the biggest things possible. It's such a huge organization. Like, you're in the spotlight left and right. Like, explain, how you have the GM meetings with all the players at the beginning of the year. Like, what's your approach talking to these guys? And it's got to be a little bit different than maybe somebody when you're playing for Columbus or something. You're playing for Montreal. So how do you approach these guys, and what do you talk about in that pre-meeting at the beginning of the year?
I think it's interesting because when I first took the job, I kept hearing from people that were interviewing in the media, how do you get people to want to come to Montreal? How do you get people that want to play here? And kind of was shaking my head saying, this is that's like saying, how do you get people to want to go play for the Yankees? Yeah, you could go play in, there may be easier cities to play in for a variety of reasons. And there may be a better tax rate playing somewhere else, but it's such a storied franchise and has and probably more. And I think it got drilled home this year. The significance of the Montreal Canadiens to the city and to the province of Quebec, especially with Guy Lafleur passing, I think for a lot of our players, it drilled in just what it means to be a Montreal Canadien. So, when we're sitting down talking to players, obviously we're talking about their game, but we're sitting in last place here coming out of the 2021 season or 21-22 season saying, like, that's not a place where the Montreal Canadiens want to be, should be, and can afford to be. And we're going to work our asses off. And that includes everybody in hockey operations, from players to coaches to equipment people to management. We've got to put our best foot forward to right the ship here. And we expect that from our players to live up to the, even in, we don't have illusions of winning the Stanley Cup next season, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to work as hard as the team that's favored to win it.
You tell all the players you're lowering taxes.
Yeah, I know.
That's what you tell them. Can't you say?
Yeah,
it's gonna be like Texas,
we're lowering
Florida.
Hey, listen, should we be surprised that you called Patrice Bergeron? I would have thought you would have called like Sammy Blais, and he would have been like, "What's a general manager do?" Yeah, that's what's. Because I know you represent so many guys. Everyone knows like Vinny Lecavalier and Patrice Bergeron, man. But you got a lot of other clients too. It's not just the star players. I'm curious, when you're an agent, honestly, like, do you? Like, say, like a fourth line guy and Bergeron are both calling at the same time.
Oh.
Whose phone are you picking up first?
Come on, Andy.
Or do you treat everyone the same, Kent?
You know what? I always felt like we tried to treat everybody the same, and I think there were guys. I hear Marty talk about the team, and some guys need more touches than others. It's just, kind of personality driven, and I think it was the same for us. Some guys called all the time and needed to connect, either to just get feedback and reassurance or for business reasons, or just because over time you developed a friendship with them. So I wouldn't say that it was always the star players that took up the most time. In fact, I used to always tell people when we were recruiting our families, prospective clients, that they call it, we call it sports management. I call it crisis management, because we spend 10% of our time on 90% of our time on 10% of our clients. Mm-hmm. We just hope there isn't a certain client or clients that are in the 10% every year, because then you probably have a difficult client. But I mean, ultimately, I feel like you're there to deal with crisis issues as much as anything. When you negotiate contracts, a lot of them are term deals at this point in time, and the bigger players probably have more complex off ice issues and business issues to deal with. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is when things aren't right, hockey wise or otherwise, it affects how they play and they need help. And you're part of that support group.
Yeah. You can just tweet like Alan Walsh.
I was going to ask that too. Like, what do you think of all that stuff? Like, I know he's defending his clients, and I get that. And I kind of like that theory. But when you call so much attention to one particular player, and then all of a sudden they might put a jam in the locker room and against their own team, like, what do you take of all that being that loud as far as Alan Walsh is concerned?
I listen, we have clients with a bunch of different personalities, and I think there's a lot of agents with different personalities, or players that play the game differently, and agents that go about their business differently. Not my style. I've never tweeted in my life, although my son tweets apparently, because he.
Oh yeah, well, he wants you to be drafting him first overall,
Damn
so
right.
That's a lot of pressure. Your wife is probably telling you the same thing. So
Yes, I heard they came home and played what was it on, Dean? It was on, I can't remember, but there was, what am I thinking about? Barstool.
Oh, yeah.
Going on some rant about how I'm, family first. So.
Oh, they had an article about you already?
Well, that's funny. Well, his son's going to be a first-round pick. He's got the first overall
So there,
pick.
Barstool picked that up?
How do you not take your son? I mean, God, man, you should have shocked the world. You should actually pull a prank when you go up to the podium and just say your son's name.
That ain't going to work too well, Andy.
So, hey, listen, but, like, as an agent, like, you're used to being in the services business. Like, I mean, that's what you do. Like, I mean, you work for the player.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, it's kind of like the other way around. The players are kind of like, working for you. Like, so how does that relationship, that whole dynamic change with you and the players? Do you still feel like, that's your responsibility to be there for them when they need something? Or do you have to kind of take a step back and be like, I can't allow myself to get too close and have that, same emotional connection?
I think that's something I'm going to figure out as we go. Certainly people ask me at the trade deadline, like, what did you think? Even Jeff at one point said, hey, I never got to catch up. What did you think, your first trade deadline? And I said, the trade deadline to me wasn't very different than, going into free agency on behalf of a player or a group of players. I think the one thing that probably stood out the most was, you got to know a group of guys and they had worked pretty hard to try to right the ship for the remainder of the season. And then all of a sudden we're trading them, and, you're trading a guy away who's been really good friends with a group of guys for 5, 6, 7 years. And, you could see it like affected everybody in the building. Like they were just, things were quiet. That, Luke Richardson, at one point, I don't think he was talking to me for 24 hours after I went down and told him I traded Kulak, but don't worry, we're not trading Lehkonen. And then came back down and said I lied. We just traded Lehkonen.
Oh, yeah, we're watching him play right now, man.
I know.
Yeah, very well too.
Yeah, I know.
Are you watching everything right now? I mean, I'm sure you are. Like, what's your take on the playoffs so far? It's pretty rock'em sock'em, pretty entertaining. Besides the Battle of Florida, of course, Florida didn't show up. But what's your take on everything so far?
Yeah, I always felt like, I said this a number of times during the seasons, I felt like there were more good teams in the NHL this year than I can remember in any prior season. And it was just going to make for a heck of a playoff in the National Hockey League. I'm surprised on the Florida Tampa thing. Not that anybody should be surprised that Tampa wins a playoff series, and it will be interesting to see if Florida has pushback here before it goes. But listen, there's a lot of really good teams, and there's a lot, and the games are fast and physical and skilled.
Can I ask you a personal question here? Because I'm honestly curious about this, because you're the GM of the Montreal Canadiens, but you're like super successful agent. Do you take a pay cut by becoming the GM of the Canadiens, or are you making more money? Like, what's going on behind the scenes there? All right.
That might go back to the tax issues we were talking about.
Are you taking a pay cut here? Or like, I mean, because you're thriving as an agent.
Thriving.
I would say I didn't do the job for a pay raise.
There you go.
Not to deflect, but it's the it gets me out of bed pretty quickly in the morning. So
no, I got you.
Yeah,
and
man.
listen, and there's nothing wrong with that,
Damn
man.
right.
I mean, it's not about how much you're making all the time. You're the GM of the Montreal Canadiens. Like you take that opportunity and
Hell
you
yeah.
run with it for sure. But I'm curious, like when you're a successful agent, like, I mean, you're living the lifestyle, right? I'm reading all about you, Kent. You got 2 houses, the golf membership.
He's doing his thing.
He's got the Audi RS6 parked in
Well,
his
why
parents'
not,
driveway. I
Andy?
mean, so you just like, was it a difficult decision, or did you like? And take me back to when you were a kid, like diehard Montreal Canadian fan, like as a kid growing up in the area.
You know what? I was a diehard hockey fan.
Yeah.
And Montreal was so good, you know, in the early years for me in the 70s when I was born in 1970. So, you know, I played hockey with Larry Robinson's son growing up, and my brother played with Jacques Lemaire's son, and I think with Yvonne's son, Cornway as well. So they were kind of around, and you know, they were so good. I don't think we, you know, now I can look back and appreciate how good they really were. But yeah, I mean, it was just, hockey was everywhere. It was always my passion, and the idea of you know, the idea of being a general manager in the sense of just being a general manager. Listen, I'd always love it because I love hockey, and I think the one thing I missed a little bit on the agent side was having a stake in the outcome of a game.
Yeah.
And that was that, you know, it was probably driven home to me in 2011. Tampa was playing Boston in the conference finals. And even the game 7, there was a 1-0 game. It was a great game, but we had clients on both sides, and I was in a suite with all Boston fans, and everybody's jumping up and down, and I'm sitting in my seat, and like that's the part of sport that you kind of miss. And then, you know, we went into the Stanley Cup, and we didn't have a client in Vancouver, and it was like the first time in all the years I'd been an agent that I was a fan and cheering for a team. So that part of it now, being on this side, it's for somebody like me that's very motivating.
Do you still have an ownership stake in your agency, or do you have to completely remove yourself 100% to become a GM? Like, how does that work?
100% out.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Who'd
He's
you give it
committed.
to? Is it still available? I might be
yeah.
interested.
Can I jump in on that somehow?
Yeah, no, that part was hard because, you know, it's relationships with guys that not just the players, but, you know, guys like Phil LeCavalier and Paul Capizano and Anton Dunn. I worked with them for 25 years, and so you kind of you switch sides, and it's not that the relationship ends, but the frequency of communications and all that, it definitely changes. And we had 3 kids here in college in Boston, 2 of them playing at Northeastern. I was going to their games as much as I could, and it was like, boom, done.
Yeah, that's just that'll change right away. But you know what? Like, listen, and I always respected you as an agent. Everybody did, and you just mentioned some of the names that you work with. I know a couple of those guys pretty well, and you always kept a pretty low profile, but you had mega clients. Those are my favorite kind, right? They got mega clients, but they keep a low profile. So you're like perfect, like Cole Caufield, for example. He's in St. Louis right now. We're trying to get him on. Come on, Cole. We're going to get you on here and when you're in town. Because
no, you're not.
His girlfriend lives in St. Louis apparently.
Yeah.
But you know, we've known Chris Weidman for a long time. Great kid and whatever.
Yeah.
Who's
Great guy.
Love him.
Oh, awesome. He loved it in Montreal. Speaks highly of you and everybody else over there, man. I mean, honestly, behind the scenes, he truly does. And love being in Montreal, but like as a guy who knows how to nurture some of these young kids and have that relationship with them, you know, what was it like with a young star like Caufield, who was on top of the world, you know, really pretty much his entire hockey career, even when he first came into the NHL. Then he deals with some adversity this season. You come in, Marty comes in,
yes,
and the switch flips once again for this guy.
Well, it's funny because you know, I came in and then Marty pretty shortly after, and then he started having, you know, maybe not immediate. I have to go back and look, but it was pretty close to immediate. So, you know, at that time I was still trying to I was drinking out of a fire hose because, you know, I got offered the job, and I thought I was going to have a couple weeks to be able to talk to everybody, be able to unwind my interest in the agency and all that. And all of a sudden it was like, hey, the rumors are already out. Like, we're going to announce this tomorrow, and there's going to be a press conference the next day. You need to get to Montreal. And, did the press conference, hopped on a plane and flew to Vegas, and then Vegas to Colorado to Minnesota, home for pro meetings right away. So it probably took me, I would say a month to just get settled into the routine, the day-to-day, start getting to know the players a little bit better. And by then Cole was already on the other side. I had talked to Pat Bergeron, his agent, a couple times early while we were doing it. But, at the exit meetings, I did have a conversation with him and just talked about, you're a young player with a tremendous amount of upside. And I represented a lot of those types of players cradle to grave in my career. Mm-hmm. And said, the one thing that always struck me, like, you come into the league and you're trying to establish yourself and you're trying to accomplish things that you've dreamt of accomplishing individually. But what I always noticed with those guys is at some point, and some earlier than others, they started, like, that change happens and they're comfortable with who they are as players. And then the focus really shifts to what are we going to accomplish? And so, we'd had a little conversation about that, saying, some of those guys think about it and figure it out earlier, and some figure it out later. They all end up getting to that point. And the more you think about it when you're young, maybe you get there a little bit quicker and have a more fulfilling career.
Hey, let me ask you something. And you're GM now, and you look at Tampa Bay. I keep bringing them up, but they're just like, they're unbelievable. Like, you're looking at Julien Brisebois, and you're like, what are they doing down there? Like, it's hard to keep up the pace when you win 2 in a row. You're partying all damn summer. You have no time to focus, and they keep doing it. Like, what are they doing differently than everybody else? They're smoking.
They got a $120 million salary cap. That helps.
Well, they did, and then now
they're not alone in that.
Well, they got the best goalie in the world, and they got one of the best defensemen in the world. And Steven Stamkos playing like Irishman. But other than that, what are they doing well? It's a copycat league.
I think they do a lot of things really well, but I would imagine, and I'm not there. I used to be there a lot. But probably culture at this point where as I talked about before, at some point there's that shift that goes on with players where what becomes most important to them is how often they can win, what's the legacy. And sometimes when you get it, for Steven Stamkos, it came a little bit later in the career.
Yeah.
But for a lot of those other players, the Hedmans, they're younger and they're still in their, not that Steven's not in his prime. I mean, he's still scoring a lot of goals, but I think having the right leadership, the right culture, and that's from the top. It's from Julien to John Cooper to your players. I don't think it's just any one person within an organization. So it seems to me that there's an incredible buy-in to winning. And you've seen it in terms of some of the contracts that players have done, and you see it in terms of the way they play and their star players sacrificing and playing defense and blocking shots and all the things that come with winning Stanley Cups.
Yeah, Cam thought you were going to say it's because of Pat Maroon. Like, he's the reason why they.
I haven't even seen him on
there.
We know about Patty, but how do you change culture though? Like, how do you do that?
I think you build it over time. I don't think it's something that you press a button and you change. And that was the one thing we were working hard. It's not that the culture was broken. The team went to the Stanley Cup final the year before, but certainly it was a very difficult situation, probably exasperated by the fact that they had gone to the Stanley Cup final the year before, where nobody was having any, nobody seemed to be having fun. They seemed to be a little bit lost. And so we're coming in saying, and Marty was the kind of the face of that transformation in terms of, hey, we may not make the playoffs this year, but that doesn't mean we're not showing up every day, and that doesn't mean we're not doing this, and we can have fun and work hard at the same time. And you just started to see that shift bit by bit, but we're in the infancy stages, I guess, of establishing that type of culture and building a leadership group and everything else that can do what Tampa has and what other great teams have done before.
We've had Marty St. Louis on with us. We've had John Cooper on with us too, who you just mentioned. And it's like, I see like almost some similarities. Now, obviously, Coop didn't play in the NHL. He's not a Hall of Fame player, but just in terms of his relatability to the players, how he can like get the most out of his players, just how he interacts with those guys. Like, I mean, I had a Montreal player tell me like he had never heard a coach give that type of speech to the players. Like when they first came in, apparently, I mean, the conversation that Marty St. Louis had with the players when he first got there, apparently is like legendary. I don't know if you were in the room for that or not, but I
was.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can speak on that, but like, all right, so whose idea was it to bring in Marty? Was that you? Did you go to Jeff and be like, listen, I think we should bring in Marty? Did he come to you? Like, and if he came to you, like, what was your reaction to that? Like, how do you know if a guy is truly capable of taking on that type of position, even though they were a great player, especially in a market like that, even though you're a first-time GM, man, it's like all the puzzle pieces just kind of coming together and fitting perfectly, you know?
It's funny that you talk about his speech because I think I went to get my hockey equipment, and Jeff grabbed me and said, "Hey, buddy, you're not a player, you're a general manager." His speech was terrific. Jeff and I, Jeff was familiar with Marty from his time in New York, and obviously as a executive in the NHL throughout his career, and I've known him forever. Right, when I was in college, I would come back and coach summer hockey, like spring travel stuff in the summer, and coach against him, and then coach him in hockey schools, and then followed him through his time in Hawkesbury because I was so impressed with him as a player to UVM, and then throughout his pro career, and then. I had Vinny and a number of others, Teddy Purcell and Matt Gilroy and guys like that, Ben Pouliot, that all came through Tampa. So I saw a lot of Marty during that time. And then when he ended up in New York, one day I traveled down to coach my younger son's team, and Marty was behind the bench. And so for whatever it was, 6-7 years, we were in youth hockey rinks together coaching, or I would be there scouting. And so I got to know him very well, and our kids lived together, both with the U.S. national team, and then we're freshman roommates at Northeastern this year. So I've had a lot of opportunity to kind of talk to him, understand how he thinks the game, collectively, individually, and just probably as much as anything, I probably have an appreciation for how players feel. Like I get to hear it all the time over the years. And I think there's a certain, I don't care what your style is as a coach or what your style is as a communicator. I think all good coaches are good leaders. And I know Marty's very bright, very strategic, but I also thought he had a certain level of emotional intelligence that he could handle one player one way, another player another way, and still move the group towards the finish line together.
Yeah, well,
everybody's the same.
When we had him on, what did we say? We're like, dude, why aren't you coaching?
Yeah,
like,
man.
He sounded like a coach.
Well, he was coaching.
Well, that's what he said. I am coaching. I'm coaching my kids. I meant the in the NHL, but. And come on, you guys spent a lot of time probably in the hotel lobby. Oh yeah, like all the other hockey dads. Like,
where are we going tonight? Where are we going tonight?
How much do you miss that though? I mean, listen, I know you're coaching or managing now in the NHL and whatever, but just the experience of like watching your kids grow up and play the game. I've been around coaching for a long time. My son has now just started out. He's playing 6U. I mean,
crushing kids.
It becomes like an addiction. Like it's fun. Like how much did you enjoy that, and how much did that enhance your overall like passion and love for the game?
Oh, I loved it. That's why I continued to do it even when my sons were gone. But it's everything about it, right? You make good friends. I always remember saying to my parents at one point, like dumb teenagers, saying like, "You guys don't have any friends. The only friends you have are my friends' parents." I'll always remember my dad saying, "Well, what would you expect? All we do is run around driving you guys anywhere. If it weren't your friends' parents, we'd have no friends." And
funny.
So we made a lot of lifelong friends. I did, the kids did, and we had a lot of fun, and met parents from other teams that became friends. So I wouldn't trade it for the world. I would feel very fortunate to have had the flexibility to do that at that time in my life.
Hey, tell me about your upbringing, though, because it's interesting. I was reading another story, like your dad's name's Emerson. Cool name, by the way. I like that name.
Sophisticated name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sounds important.
And apparently he, like, had you guys, like, with, like, a hardcore, like, workout regimen when you were young. Like, I need to know what this workout regimen is and, like, what you were doing at a young age, because, like, he would, like, make you guys work out. So what was he making you do, and, like, when did this start? Like, how old were you?
So based on your comments about the 2 golf courses and all the rest of it, somebody put that article with my father, which made me, my brother, my wife, and everybody cringe. But he happened to work in there that he actually works out 340 days of the year still.
Yes,
which he doesn't. And we used to tease him because he said, I got the biggest heart and biggest calves because I run 5 miles a day, 6 days a week. And we told him that we measured his track and it was only 3 kilometers, not 5 miles, but and it took him a half hour.
Cam doesn't know what a kilometer is, by the way.
I lived in Canada because I played juniors, Andy. My dad exaggerates too. Don't worry about it.
Well, he used to tell us we had to go out and we had to run. That was the most important thing. Our fitness was the most important thing. It wasn't about hockey. But he didn't know that often we'd go in the garage, wait half an hour, take the hose, spray ourselves, and walk in pretending we were exhausted.
That's awesome. Yeah, but sprinting apparently is like the number one way to like get kids like to be faster on the ice. Have you heard that? Like, did you make your kids do this, like this running and stuff like that? And like sprints, it's not about running long distance; it's about sprinting.
Well, yeah, Andy.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
were
sprints make it no doubt.
Were you making Jack and Riley get up at 6 a.m. and run too, or what?
I hate to admit, but there is that expression that history repeats itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, my daughter just said it yesterday. I think I was with her and a bunch of hockey players. At the end of the day, they were sprinting or doing something, seeing who was the fastest. And then my daughter turned to us. Do you remember when we used to be driving home from Boston to Montreal and you would pull us over in Vermont and we'd go to a park and we'd have to run and jump and do all this stuff? So ironic that you'd ask that question.
Wow, I love that.
Do you guys have like a, these kids these days, man, like they kind of need somebody to talk to. They get down, they're up, they're down. It's like a roller coaster ride. Do you have a sports psychologist there? Like, do you got anything different for these kids to talk to, stuff like that?
We do. And we're exploring how to expand and do that and give these guys every single chance possible to be successful.
Hey, who was the what GM out there did you have the closest relationship with? And like, was there a GM or two that you called prior to accepting the job to get their advice and get their take on it? And even after you took the job, who maybe you still talk to on a regular basis, not about players and whatever, just about, whatever the experience has been for you so far?
You know what? I don't know that there were, I talked to Billy Guerin about it and I probably had less of a relationship with him kind of as agent general manager. Mm-hmm. But I knew him through a good friend of mine who was a childhood friend of his. And, he had reached out when he heard that I was under consideration. We had dinner before a BC game when he was in town. And he was just like, how do you not do this? Like,
yeah, I could hear him saying that, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're crazy not to do this. So he's like, heck, if I lost my job, I'd take Montreal. So,
hey,
there were different people that chimed in with advice and shared what it's like to sit in that chair. So it was helpful.
When you want, I know it hasn't been that long, but like, you're watching practice or whatever, like what drives you nuts? Not the obvious stuff, but when players do, is there something a pet peeve that you just, not to create being late and stuff like that. That's obvious. But like, is there any little things that you look at and you're like, I just don't like that when a player does it? Any little pet peeves? I know it's a goofy question. I'm not a journalist, just so you know. Andy is.
Not that I can think of, but maybe I'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
I just worry. I always
just think if Cam was on your team.
I'm just saying. I don't want to piss people off.
Yeah. I do have one.
Oh,
I do have one. It's the banging the stick on the ice to demand the puck.
Oh,
it's like
the beaver tail.
I always felt like if you were a really smart hockey player, I'd actually that the smart hockey player is going to find you when you're open.
Right.
The only way you're not going to be open is when you're banging your stick all the time. So the other 5 guys on defense know where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
No shit.
Hey, I'm open, but now
I'm here.
But now I'm not, because I just told everybody on the ice that I'm open.
Exactly.
Yes. There's the time to call for it, but
Yeah.
there are players out there that the minute it's off their stick, they're banging their stick on the ice to get it back again.
Okay, so what about your experience with like Hall of Fame type players, right? We've mentioned a couple of them, but Bergeron and whatever. And like you've got one that you're dealing with there right now in Montreal with Carey Price. You know, he wants to make his decision, what he's going to do and all that. Yeah. And you probably have had clients in the past say, hey, listen, I need some time. I got to figure out if I want to continue to play, what I want to do. They're banged up. That experience as an agent, I'm sure that helps you, right? Because, but it's different. Like you need to know like what's going on with you know, that position and if he's coming back and all that. But at the same time, you want to give him his time and space. So how do you handle a player like that?
You know, we're trying to handle it the way I would handle it if, to be perfectly honest, if I were an agent, because at the end of the day, in Carey's situation, he needs to make the right decision for him. Obviously, we're going to be impacted by that decision one way or the other. But at this point, you know, it's not just a question of, do I feel like doing this? It's a question of, can I do this? What's involved in trying to get myself back to be able to do that? And that's a, you know, he came out and said it. I've said it for years because we've represented players that were, you know, rated, you know, Angelo Esposito's of the world, who actually has spoken to, we used to run, you know, pre-COVID development camps, and Angelo came and spoke one year to all the young players that were there. And a group of them I would just take back to my parents' house with they were friends with my youngest son who was participating in it. Mm-hmm. You know, I think Kyle Dubas came and Kris Letang spoke, and there were a bunch of really good speakers. And came back, I said, who was the best speaker? And they said Angelo Esposito was the best by far, because he kind of talked about having the notoriety of being the best player in the world at 15, 16, and then basically, I don't want to use the word failing, but not making it to the National Hockey League. You know, for a lot of people, their opinion was Angelo Esposito failed, but you have to do it on a very public stage.
Right.
And we talk about how hard that is when so much of your identity is tied up in who you are as a hockey player, because that's how people know you. And Carey made that comment when he did his first press conference once I got back, saying how much of his identity is tied in to who he is as a hockey player and a Montreal Canadian. So we've got to, you know, we have to be able to sympathize, acknowledge it. And obviously there's timelines that, you know, that are relevant to him in terms of his recovery and attempt to get back here to being a full-time goaltender. But there's timelines for us as well. We hope they mesh, but at the end of the day, we have to respect that he's got to do things the way he needs to do them to figure out whether we can make this return to full-time play.
Yeah, no, it's interesting you bring up Esposito, because I remember, right? I mean, he was a phenom, and it didn't work out for him. And it's why it's even more incredible that players like Crosby and McDavid do fulfill those expectations and even exceed the expectations and become great players when they've had so much attention on them since they were young kids. How you handle in the media? Because you kept a pretty low profile as an agent, and you can't really do that as the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens. Like, do they have your cell phone? Are they calling you? God. Are they texting you nonstop? Do you feel like you have to get back to everybody? Like, how are you handling that?
It's a work in progress, I'd say. But, you know, I get it in Montreal, and Jeff Molson was pretty clear that, you know, if you take this position, there's a certain added responsibility in Montreal that isn't necessarily there in all 32 franchises. And we, you know, that's going to be expected of you, which has been fine. Like, I think, you know, we're kind of on the honeymoon phase. So there hasn't been too much negativity around it or criticism. It's a little bit easier probably to answer than when you're, you know, facing a firestorm, but it's still, you know, for me, the tricky part is I moved to the US. I continued to speak French because the Kris Letangs, the Patrice Bergeron, the Sammy Blais, you know, Anthony Beauvilliers, all these, we had a lot of French Canadian hockey players, and I spoke French with them. But as those guys spent year after year in the US speaking English all the time, they started switching on me. And I'm like, oh, is my French getting that bad? And they're like, no, our English is just better. But we did get to that point where I wasn't speaking a lot. So when you're trying to answer a question and not just completely deflect, but you can only answer so much. So you got to kind of tiptoe around or negotiate the answer. It's hard when you're trying, like I'm thinking in English and trying to translate in French and that part of it gets tricky at times.
What are you going to say to the older guys know how to handle the media in Montreal? They've been there, they get it. But what do you say to these young kids like coming up in training camp? Like, what are you going to tell them how to handle the media, how to handle you're in a bubble? Like sometimes you don't know until you know. And so what are you going to say to these guys?
I think when you say these guys, I actually prefer to just do things one-on-one and take the time, and because they're all going to be different personalities.
Yeah.
Right. And one's going to be an introvert and one's going to be an extrovert, and one is going to shoot from the hip and just say whatever the hell that comes to mind, and somebody else is going to be more calculated. So I think it's taking the time to get to know them a little bit, bring them in. It's one thing if you're in Laval, it's another thing if you're in Montreal, it's another thing. Obviously on draft day, we don't have that opportunity to prepare them in advance for that. So we'll do that, a combination of working with our public relations group, but also, me and Jeff and the management group, and making sure we're all on the same page and that we're helping these guys, navigate it, not be afraid of it, just accept it. It is what it is. They're going to be very high on you at times. And I think in Montreal, when it's going really well, it's great. And I think when it's hard, like it's harder to escape. But that's part and parcel of being there. And if you accept it, understand it, then I think you can manage it a little bit better.
Yeah, because how do you balance that? It's funny because when Jeff came to St. Louis, he hadn't hired you yet, and they were looking for a GM, whatever, beginning the search. And I was just joking. I said, Jeff, I want to insert my name into the search. He goes, well, if you can speak French, I'll hire you now, or something like that. So he was just like,
yes, exactly.
he was joking. But it's so important because there's a lot of French-speaking media and stuff like that. And listen, I know they appreciate the fact that you even go up there and you try to speak French and that you're doing it and you're really good. I mean, I would think that you're like fluent in French or whatever. But, just that balance of dealing with both sides of the media. It's almost like you're dealing with like two markets. You have like two separate groups of media. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, you know what? I so far it's been good. Like I haven't had any issues kind of balancing the timing of things, and Chantal and Charles and Guillaume and everybody in our PR department's been great. And I think we'll continue to. It's going to be a work in progress for us too, just trying to figure out how we manage it as we move forward. And Jeff loves it because he has very little to answer to. We wanted him to understand when we were introducing Marty, so we put him in and we put a mic in his ear so we could translate for him. But the problem was that the translations were going on when the next question was being asked, and he was completely lost. So.
That's hilarious.
That's hard, man. It's hard to deal with.
Hey, but just listen. Tell Jeff to go get like Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
He'll learn French in like 20 minutes. Okay, like he'll
figure it out, Jeff.
Come on. Now
you're giving Jeff way too much credit.
Hey, but how's it been like working with him? And like he was a GM for a long time, and so do you guys work together? Does he still get involved in GM decision making? Obviously, he's always involved, but how's that balance? Like, how much are you guys kind of making decisions collaboratively?
I think we do a lot of it I know we do a lot of it collaboratively. Yeah, like I was asked that at the beginning when I first took over, and people were worried about the chain of command and how specific were you guys in outlining it all. I'm like, not worried about it. That's it's not my style. Like I like to talk through things anyways, and heck, even as a player agent, I'd often talk to general managers if it was a player with a different team, saying how do you see this? How would you see it sitting in that chair? And so, there's a lot of back and forth with Jeff, with myself, with Marty, with John Sedgwick, with everybody. I think that's kind of how you work through it. And I think we're of like mind, and doesn't mean that we agree 100% on everything, but we ultimately work towards, an agreement as to what to do.
Hey, what were your kids' reactions when you started looking into the job and then offered the job? Were they like, "Hey, you better go do this"? You need, or were they? Did they have reservations, or did they want you to go all in and become the next? Be a GM in the NHL?
You'll know when your U6 is a U18 or in college.
Yeah.
And he's done listening to you tell him what he needs to do better on the ice. I think they were like, go, so we can come out and we don't have to hear what we did wrong. Although I think I took the job on my daughter's birthday, and she went viral on TikTok when she did the TikTok video with like a voiceover saying, when your dad's announced general manager of the Montreal Canadiens on your birthday. And it was like, I don't like to share things. And all of a sudden she's getting DM'd by people. Tell your dad to trade this guy, this.
That's so funny. Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you this, though. That gives you a huge advantage. I mean, a lot of these GMs and whatever, they have kids and whatever. But to have kids who are players at that age, I mean, you got a firm understanding of these kids that are coming into the NHL that have been playing high-level hockey just in terms of their background and what they've been through, don't you?
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's an advantage. And it's not just my own. Because I coached, I was dealing with a whole group of them, and I continued doing it. So I had an 05 group that I coached for the last 4 or 5 years here in the Boston area. A couple of them will, 2, 3, 4 of them will probably be draft picks next year.
Really?
Damn. Yeah. So I also feel like I have a familiarity with the age group, certainly in the U.S. and parts of Canada.
All right. So you have the first overall pick. How much planning goes into the first overall pick? Or you just know who you're taking and you're just doing as much due diligence on that player as you can? Like, how are you handling it? And, like, I can't believe, what a luxury, man. You walk in and you get the first overall pick. I mean, that's incredible. Or is it challenging to have the first overall pick? I know this is going to be your first draft as a GM, but, like, is it harder than people might think?
I think you always want the first overall pick if you can have the first overall pick, because you can – if you're second or third, your options are potentially limited by what the others do in front of you. So, we have we're limitless in what we can do, because nobody can, when you're picking one, nobody can alter that. But I do think you got to do a lot of work, and we come in, or certainly I come in as somebody that's watched a lot of hockey and a lot of 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old hockey, not just NHL hockey. And I want to watch, and I want to see everybody, and I want to watch a lot on video, what I don't see in person. But I'm also, very aware of, we got a scouting group, and they've been at this for a number of years, and it's, general manager. I've always believed that, you can watch any player in one game or in a weekend or 2 weekends, and you could see the best or the worst or somewhere in between. Or you could have watched Cole Caufield the first 30-something games, and you would have maybe had punched him a one-way ticket to the American Hockey League. And if you had seen him the second half, he's a top 10 pick. So I think familiarity and over a period of years is optimal. I don't want to come in and say, hey, I think this guy's better or that guy's better, but I think it's worthwhile. Like, we went to the U18s in Munich. We just got back from Helsinki. We've been in Kingston. I just think it's helpful to see Jeff went out to Winnipeg, to at least participate in discussions and force debate among the scouts, and then ultimately they're going to tell us what they think should be the number one pick.
Yeah. All right, a couple more things for you, and we'll let you go, man. You've been great.
Yeah, you've been awesome,
really appreciate it. Like, I'm curious, like, when you're an agent, how much of what you do is there like a team aspect, or are you just kind of doing it on your own, one-on-one with the player? Because I talked to Doug Armstrong about this, and I think Doug's one of the best GMs in the league, man. I really do. Like, I see a little bit behind the scenes about, how hard he works, but he also values, the people that he has around him, and how important it is to surround yourself with, like, super intelligent people that you want to work with, that work hard, all of that. So you have to build that team, right, with your hockey operations department. So what's that been like, and how much do you value, and how important are those people that work around you to help you, even though you get a lot of the accolades and, a lot of the success is pointed towards you, but, you have to rely on people underneath you to get the job done for you to get that attention.
1,000%. I think the one thing that we've talked about a lot is when we talked about building culture, it wasn't just in the locker room. It's the entire hockey operations department. We want good people that want to work together, pull together, that appreciate each other and respect the work that everybody's doing. And yeah, hey, we're everything we do. I'm sure I'll be the as the general manager, the one who gets credit or blame. But we're doing things together, and we need good people, and that's exactly what we've been trying to do. Is more than anything else, get character people and smart people, smart hockey people.
Yeah, I get you on that. That's why Andy teamed up with me, of course. Let me real quick. What do you do for fun, man? Like, do you got a boat? Are you a fisherman? Do you like to golf? And I'm sure your boys are probably like back when they were younger, like, "Hey, Dad, buy some toys so we could have some fun." Like, what do you do for fun, man?
I mean, I golf. I like to golf. I'm not very good, but I'm determined to be good. And after 20-something years, I should figure out that's probably not going to happen. No. But that's my personality. So probably golf, but oftentimes it was, as my wife said, I should write that book about how to get away without doing shit, because great majority of my time, even if it wasn't work related with hockey, it was hockey.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so is your wife like all in too? Like, you kind of need your wife to be all in on this also, like, and just having her be around your kids and playing hockey, I think she probably gets it, right? But and just with what you've been doing for your career, so how supportive is she of what you're doing?
And she's great.
Moving to Montreal.
Yeah.
And leaving that oceanfront property in Cape Cod.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There we go. My dad forgot to mention there's a tent on that property.
Oh, yeah.
She's great. She's from Montreal too. We met. We've known each other since 5th grade. Her mom still lives there. My parents still live there. She's putting a few miles on the car, going back and forth, because our daughter's at BU, the boys are at Northeastern. So she'll continue to do that, I'm sure, until the kids are out of school. But all in all, it's easy. We make it work. We dated for 6 years and never lived in the same country. So Montreal to Boston's easy.
Wow. Dated 6 years, never lived in the same country. What do you mean? Like, were you in Canada? She was in the U.S. or what?
No, she was in Canada. I was in the U.S. Then I was in, first in undergrad. Then I was in Sweden for a year, and then I was in law school. So she was in Montreal the whole time.
Hey, as far as you understand, and this is kind of off topic, with the CHL and all that stuff, with the import players from Russia and everything, that's not going to impact the NHL, right? There's no plans for that, right? You're able to go into the draft this year and draft players who play in Russia and who are Russian born, right? There's no rules saying you can't do that, correct?
No, there's no rules. I mean, I think the reluctance or uncertainty, I don't want to say reluctance, is just going to be around a Russian player getting a working visa and how complicated that process can be.
Yeah, man.
If you're drafting a player and you believe it's 4 years down the road and the world will return to what it was post invasion of Ukraine, then I don't think you're deterred. If you're uncertain about what the world's going to look like, then I think there is certainly some uncertainty with respect to Russian players living in Russia.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure. Hey, so what's the plans now with Marty St. Louis? Like, I mean, you want him back, right? Is he coming back? Like, what's the is there like a drop dead date that he's got to let you know of his plans? Like, I mean, is he being interviewed by like a Bantam, like a U15 AAA team that wants to bring him back? Like
there's a lot of money in Greenwich, so he's driving a hard bargain with the Mid Fairfield Rangers.
We've played against them. Yeah, Marc Messier's dad was the coach that we used to play against, actually.
Exactly. Yeah, so they're I'm sure they're trying. No, we just we've been focused on other things and not overly worried about it, just because you know, we knew we were going to do it, but hopefully now that we got back last week at the end of the week from Helsinki, so hopefully at some point this week or next, we get it wrapped up.
Yeah, so it'll get done. He will be the coach of the Montreal Canadiens next season. We can go with that.
With his big quads, by the way.
With his big legs.
Quadzillas. Good Lord.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, last thing for you, for the other GMs that are listening and whatever, because I'm sure a lot of them are going to want to tune in and whatever, like, sell your son Jack. Like, what will a team be getting?
Yes, Jackie boy.
And Jack Hughes, who everyone thinks he already plays for the Devils.
Yeah, great hair.
This is the better. This is the better Jack Hughes.
Yes.
What we hear. No. What will they be getting in your son? Give us like the real scouting report, the real deal.
You know what? They're gonna get a character kid. I mean, they can figure out what he is or isn't as a hockey player watching.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a determined kid. He wants to do it. He's a funny kid. I think he's gonna give it a run, and he's one of those. You know, he just fits very seamlessly into whatever environment he's in. He'll fit in any locker room. So I think he would be a welcomed, respected teammate.
There you go.
That's
a good answer from a hockey dad.
I like it, Hughesy.
Kent Hughes.
Hey, man. Thanks for coming on, big boy.
That's right.
I know you're a busy
Thank you for having me, guys.
Hey, and all the best to you, man. And you did a great job, obviously, and looking forward to kind of watching you.
We'll be following you
throughout the next several years, man. In Montreal, you got a good group of guys there. You guys are going to end up winning very, very quickly.
Right.
So.
I appreciate it, guys.
We're rooting
all the best
for you.
To you. Yep.
All right, Hughesy.
Thanks.
See you, buddy.
The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the summer.
Yeah.
All right, baby. That was Kent Hughes, the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens. How cool is that guy?
Yeah, he was really cool. Very down to earth.
His son's a very good player, man.
Yeah.
2 sons are very good players.
Yep.
One, Jack Hughes. Another Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
He's going to be a first-round pick, people think.
That'd be cool.
You know?
To Montreal.
And you know what's funny is, like, he put something out there when Montreal was awarded the number 1 overall pick. And he put something out there on social media like, I better be taken first overall or something like that. You know, it's kind of joking, whatever.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
no, that's kind of cool, man.
Yeah,
he's got a good gig going right now.
It'd be kind of cool to have your dad be the GM of the Montreal Canadiens.
Of course it would. So, although it'd be kind of bizarre, too.
It'd be cool to have your dad be like the agent and like good buddies with like Vinny Lecavalier and Patrice Bergeron and all these dudes, you know?
Well, it'd be cool if your dad was very successful.
I would like to be an agent, honestly. I think, I'm tight with.
I think he'd be a really good agent,
dude, because I'm all about personal services, helping people, whatever. But I would also get the most from my client, dude.
No, you'd be a really good agent. I swear to God.
And let me just say this: I'm tight with a number of agents that come into St. Louis when they come into town. Or if I'm on there, dude, I go to lunch, I go to dinner with these guys. Great dudes.
Yeah.
And I'm very interested in the business. Now, I'm not looking to recruit 14-year-old kids. That's the one thing I'm not into doing. You know what I'm saying? And then waiting like 8 years for them to finally like make a dime.
You mean 4
I don't know.
4 years.
And dealing with the parents, like.
Yeah, you'd be a good agent, especially with the negotiations. Stuff,
yeah, so I may have to.
I don't know if I want to be an agent.
I may have to get involved with that.
I just don't want to deal with anybody.
Why not?
Because I don't want to. I don't want to have to call parents and stuff.
What would you want to do? Is there like a career?
You know what I want to do?
Yeah.
I want to do exactly what the fuck I'm doing right now and stick with it and be really good at it and make money.
Okay.
Or I want to be like Action Bronson.
Yeah.
Who's a guy.
And no one knows who that is.
No, they do. If you know, you know. Action Bronson was a guy that's such a good cook where these companies hire him to travel the world, smoke a bunch of fucking weed, go to these different places in Italy and try out different restaurants and food and get filmed and be like, oh, motherfucker, smoke a fucking dude.
Anybody can do that. Just do it.
No,
you just do it.
No,
go to Italy and do a damn review on a restaurant.
Everything's paid for.
Get somebody to pay for it.
Well, that's the point of it. You got to be good at
cooking. So you're
cooking.
telling me if I found a sponsor, you would go to Italy and do this?
I'd like to be a good enough cook where a camera could be in my face, and I
you
have
wanna
all
be
these
the
different,
cook, too.
all these different like different areas where you travel and you go try these different restaurants, and all of a sudden you get filmed, and you're like, I'm gonna try my steak. This is my ode to the fucking steak sandwiches, baby. You hit that fucking bong like, bang. And you're like, okay, here we go. And you kind of fuck the steak up, but it doesn't even matter anyway because people are watching you because you're funny. And all of a sudden you eat something good. And then people fly you places, different areas of the world where you go and the camera's on you. They
You
got
better
all
have me with you.
They got all the fucking, your goodies ready to go. You get your mind right. You go in these places. You try the badass wine. You go in the back to the garden. You pick out all the garden stuff. Then they cook for you. You eat it and you get filmed. That's a cool gig.
Yeah.
But I like the gig we have now.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
on my
bad.
radio.
You
I'm
know
on
what?
a podcast.
You know what I could be?
I want-
Honestly, I thought I'd be as a rapper.
A tool bag?
A rapper. I thought I'd be a rapper. Okay. Back in the day, Cam, I used to do like freestyle raps. Yeah. Like people would like give me like a topic.
Yeah.
Like they'd be like candy or like
The girls probably love
like
you.
books or something like that.
Like,
you know?
oh my God, I love this little white boy.
Or like the beach. And I would just freestyle. Okay, and just like roll it off from the top, from the dome.
You're fucking badass, dude.
That's a skill.
Yeah, you came from the streets, man.
If I became an agent, or went and worked for an agency, could we still do this?
Yeah,
I think so too.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so
I'll
too.
find somebody else. Some
Nobody,
other guy like you.
Nobody could replace me.
Not really. I'd find somebody smart that knows fucking people, you know?
I don't know. Well,
I would just do my own thing and just like do my own blog every fucking day and just do more work.
Oh, a blog?
We'll just like film myself, do shit, have the sponsors that sponsor this.
You'd be like
sponsor
so
me.
annoying. You'd be like, I need to have the dogs and my wife in every video, which is
I would.
Because that's insecurity.
I'm insecure, man. I've been
Are
through
you?
A lot. Yeah, at times.
Are you
goddamn
insecure?
right. With
okay,
what?
Let's
With,
talk about this. Like, what makes you insecure? Yeah, I can
my
sense a
fucking
little
hairline,
insecurity sometimes
the whiteness
from you.
of my teeth, my body weight, my vocabulary, my education. There's a lot of things I'm insecure.
Else? And how do you overcome that? How do you deal with that?
Wow, people treat me great everywhere I go, so it pumps my
makes
tires
you feel
back
good.
up. Yeah, I get treated like royalty everywhere I go. So, and then cougars flirt with me, and I have to like push them aside.
You
like,
just had your anniversary.
Yeah,
please tell me you got something for your wife too, because you don't ever like buy birthday or Christmas presents or anything.
Yeah, I do. I'm not.
No, what'd you do? Because Kate,
you know what Kate does?
She like follows you around, and like you gotta make it about her sometimes, dude.
You know what she's doing right now?
What?
She's sitting at home making food, hanging with the puppies. The candles are going. She's
the candles.
Yeah,
right now during the daytime.
I love it because she's not working. I come home to my beautiful house. The puppies are ready to jump all over me. She's got food ready. She's in a cute outfit.
What did you get her for your anniversary besides nothing? That's
I
a
was
nothing.
Under the weather a little bit, but
you don't have Amazon?
No, I got her a bunch of dude. She buys what she wants to buy, man. And I got her a nice card. I wrote her a little poem. And then I made sweet.
You wrote her a poem.
We got into a hot tub.
Oh no, you didn't.
And I just
you have a hot tub,
well,
or that green
big
bathtub that you have in your master.
It still like pumps out fucking hardcore water, man.
Yeah, hard water. Yeah, so you don't want hard water.
It's hard for you to chirp anything I got going, Andy. Let's be honest, okay? Like you could try all you want, but I look at everybody. I'm like, would I trade my life with any? Like,
okay,
not really.
But how do you get away with not like buying your wife?
Because we live a fantasy life, dude.
Yeah,
we
but
chill.
Like, you don't like.
She's with me all day. There's no kids involved.
You have to take care of her, dude.
I do, dude.
I'm just telling you,
Andy. Shut the fuck up. You don't know shit. You got 3 fucking kids where you're going over. Kate and I are with each other all day, every fucking day, all day. We have we're gonna golf today. We're gonna go home and golf. We can do this. We're gonna go sit in a patio and we get fucked up. We come home and let the dogs out. We have no responsibilities. I just gotta deal with you. I gotta deal with my fucking radio station. We live. You know, all her friends our friends are begging me
to do what?
To have a kid. And I go, you guys are goddamn miserable. They are all jealous of Kate and I. Kate and I could stop at a drop of a hat and go wherever we want and do whatever we want, as long as it's not affecting you or affecting the radio station. We could do what the fuck we want. You think we want to have kids? You think we live a good life? I just have to stay healthy enough so I don't die at an early age.
You gotta stay healthy.
I know. I can't die at an early age, man.
Oh my God! Let's not even think about that.
Dude, you're lucky.
You need to start taking care
You're
of
lucky
yourself.
I didn't fucking.
Can you start like working out or something? Just like make sure you're.
You want to take a picture of me and you? Tell me I won't work out. I do 400 push-ups a day.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, I still look pretty decent for what it is.
400 a day.
Damn, I could do 100 push-ups right now.
Okay, let me tell you, I've read about
100
this.
straight.
That's wear and tear.
I could do 100
straight
right now.
And wear and tear on your shoulders and everything.
You're such
where
a
it's
baby
actually
pussy. You're a pussy.
It actually works against you. Like
You
you're
don't-
not truly because you're not allowing.
Andy,
you're
you
not
don't
allowing
know shit
those-
about working out. I'm looking at you right now. You don't know shit. You've never had to work out in your life. I've worked out for a living. So shut the fuck up.
Hey, you're not allowing your
Jesus.
muscles to recover.
Man, I do different kinds every day. Andy, stop.
Oh, different kind of push-ups?
Stop before my folk, my good old folk of Saskatchewan and all over the world
Well, they
are
know.
going to fucking chirp
They know
you.
exactly what
They're
I'm
gonna fucking
saying.
chirp you because they get what I'm saying. They're on my team.
They send me pictures all the time. I could go there
They're
right
on my
now to
side.
Saskatchewan. I'm thinking about doing a little vacation. We should do a real road tour,
I'm not going to Canada.
like some of these other podcasts.
I ain't going to Canada.
Some of these-
Like missing curfew. I'm not going to Calgary right now. You're crazy. I'm not leaving this country.
You wouldn't leave the country.
No, I'd go to Mexico on a private jet when I know the people in the customs down there. They don't have to give a COVID test or anything. Like
I
that.
will say this, and I flew private to Colorado. There is nothing like it.
It's nothing like it, man.
Nothing like it. It makes
your
you
mind right on
never.
it.
In
My
fact,
buddy smoked darts on those things.
oh God,
I know.
they would not be on my plane, dude.
Well, you ain't gonna be on their plane, homie.
And that poor pilot, dude, that's terrible.
They don't give a fuck.
And everybody else
Smoking
around
darts.
them. Did the pilot know what he was doing?
My buddy will.
Did you hear about that guy that landed the plane?
Yes, I did.
You think that's true?
Yes, I do. And they had a guidance from the.
Yeah, from the radio.
Yep, it's very.
Would you
scary.
be able to do that?
Absolutely not. Nope.
And the
I have
guy
no idea.
passed out who was having the seizure.
I know.
He had to physically remove him from the chair.
Get his ass out of there. Rip him
Dude.
up like fucking Weekend at
So
Bernie's.
the guy who I've traveled with my boy several times, and I make sure when Strick Nasty's on that plane, dude, we make sure you got to have two pilots. I want two pilots on
They're
there.
fucking high maintenance. No wonder I don't invite you for anything.
Cam, did you have two pilots on your plane?
Of course.
Well, thank you.
Of course.
Because
I didn't, but that's my buddy. Look, we don't cater to you. You're the minion of the group. You're like the last one invited. Where you're like, okay, you can come.
No.
Yeah, you are.
I just
and you
wanna
probably
make
held
sure
up.
there's
You probably
two
held up
pilots.
everybody by acting like you're important.
Cam, first one there.
I hope so. You don't.
First
Hey, like
one
private jets, man. If you're the last one there, you're a fucking jackass.
Oh my God!
Don't you ever be late for a private jet, dude.
No, first one there.
No, that guy's paying that money for
Actually,
it.
as
You're
a
fucking waiting on
matter
your
of
stupid
fact,
ass. You're
I
not
was-
bringing anything to the table.
I went to the wrong airport first, and I was still the first one there because they're like right next door to
they're
each
hard
other.
to get down in Chesterfield.
Oh, yeah.
Really
There's like
difficult.
3 or 4
It's
different
like
ones.
it's all like industrial.
I know,
Like where am I
I
at?
know,
I know. I get
know.
it. But if you're ever late for a private jet, you're a
Ever.
fucking joke.
Oh my
Don't
God!
ever be that way.
I like talking to general managers though, Cam. I really do, and you do too. Actually,
Yeah, I do.
You like listening.
I'm
to
just
these
not good
guys.
at asking them questions.
No, I know. You could be. You think you overthink it.
Well, I just don't know enough about them.
You don't have to. I told you it's just a conversation.
Well, I'd ask someone I
You
need
don't
to
you know how to
ask
like
them.
talk to people and like have a conversation? You know how to do
Yeah,
that.
you're right, Andy. I don't have any friends. Tell me how to have friends, will you? Too many friends.
What are you doing the rest of the day now today?
I'm gonna go hang with the puppies, and Kate and I are gonna golf.
And walk the dogs, dude, because they've been
Thank you, Andy.
cramped up
They
all
live in
day
a big
long.
house and they run around like
Well,
crazy.
they've been cramped up in the house all day. So
I don't have a cramped house. My house is huge
Would
and
you
open.
would you adopt?
A child?
Mhm.
A child?
Yeah,
Fuck no.
Cam.
Adopt a child that's
Yeah.
not my sperm? Fuck no.
A lot of people.
So some two dipshits fuck each other, a couple of fucking dipshits, and they
Hey,
create this
yeah,
thing.
but you're helping, dude.
And no, I don't
Yeah.
want it.
Yeah, but
I want my blood.
People who do that are beautiful people, dude.
I know. I'm not a beautiful person.
Like think about the life they give that child.
Yeah, I know. I'm not that person. I'm not adopting
Well,
some
can you
child.
like give the people credit who do that?
Yeah,
and
of
help
course.
these kids.
No
man?
doubt. I didn't say
Like,
that
they're
they're
the most
bad.
amazing.
I said
people.
I'm bad. I'm not going to do it. I want my blood in there. Although I think about my blood and I'm like, oh,
I have
fuck
a friend
me.
of mine who adopted a kid, man.
Good.
It's like, dude. I
And
think,
that's fine.
like these people.
What are you trying to do to me?
They're like made of gold. These people. Their heart is.
Okay, they adopted because they couldn't get pregnant. That's
No,
just what it is.
no. They can. They
Oh,
got like
well,
3 or 4 biological kids.
They're wealthy probably. That's what wealthy people do. Like Adam Wainwright probably could do that. Guys like that, they could adopt 15
Adam
fucking
Wainwright,
kids.
yeah,
when you have
he did
130 in
that
a
too.
bank, you could do what the fuck you want.
Mhm.
I don't have that money. I like not spending money on children. I like spending money on myself and my wife and my dogs.
That's selfish.
I'm a selfish, of course.
Are you selfish?
Yes, 100%.
Well, at least you admit it. What do you love the most?
I like my life, man.
Puppies?
My puppies, my life, my wife. I like my life.
What
man.
about...
Would I change my life with anybody? Not really.
What about Hair Club?
I love Hair Club, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just got to get the back of my head.
Hey, we're going to get that taken care of. 800...
What are your nerd neighbors fucking saying that I don't listen to them?
279-7878.
Is that your nerdy fucking neighbor?
No, it was like... I'll have to show you. I forgot exactly what they said.
Show me.
I have to show you what they said.
Tell them I'm sorry, man. I'm open-minded.
It's
everything.
okay.
I keep everything open.
I want people
Andy,
to know.
I think they chirp you a little bit more now. They chirp me.
don't.
Oh, really?
We got to. It's important to
Show
have
me.
that open conversation. Ooh, I'll show you afterwards.
Show me.
I'll show you afterwards, so we can get out of here.
So they're chirping me, hey?
Well, they'll chirp. Listen, people. Here's my take on things. People who go out of their way, for the most part, not necessarily if they comment on the podcast or whatever, but like on a message board. I told a coach this a long time ago because he actually called me, and he was getting crushed by fans. He ran the power play, and he was getting crushed by fans.
Yeah.
And it really bothered him, and he thought it was going to impact him being re-signed as a coach in the NHL. And I understood that, and I said to him, I said, listen, anybody who goes on a message board or Twitter, for the most part, they're negative people. They're not there to say anything positive.
Yeah, but there's always something to something. So if somebody's chirping me, there's always something to that. And so you always have to look at that.
Don't take that. This is part of the insecurity.
You think I'm going to change?
No.
I'm going to be myself. Hey, look,
No,
whatever's working is working.
You cannot allow...
You want me to change, Andy?
No, you cannot
You want me to change and see how this goes?
You can't allow anybody
You want me to change and see how this podcast goes?
You've heard people change, haven't you?
Listen, but there's always a truth to anything.
Yeah.
There really is. So you have to take that. Like, maybe I was a little too much when it came to Ukraine
and
or something.
And you learn from it, right?
Yeah. Well, then prove me otherwise. Okay. Show me what you guys are thinking, and I'll be like, oh, that makes sense.
I'll show it.
We got a pretty good reputation overall. We do. And we own this goddamn thing ourselves. Yes. We don't have anybody supporting us. No. We don't have little fucking kid with 30 million followers that's cool coming on. We're fucking true to you guys. We work for you fucking fans, dude. You guys want hardcore shit. This is what we give you. You might not agree with everything I say, but you know where I'm coming from. I'm not fucking fake with shit.
No, you're right.
You know where I'm coming every goddamn week.
Yeah.
So if you disagree with me, I get it, man. Just
Cam, that's life, dude.
People, that's the way it is.
That's how life is. I don't expect anybody.
But you know what you're getting from us, dude. We're not fake bullshit.
People listening right now, they probably
we don't sell out.
No.
We don't fucking sell out. No. We're fucking Pantera, dude. We're hardcore every guy.
I don't like Pantera. I don't like Pantera.
No. The shit kickers know what I'm talking. We're fucking Pantera.
No, they don't listen to that. They probably listen to like
you know what my point is.
Dr. Dre, little like
I like D-Dre, but we're hardcore through and through. We don't pander to bullshit.
No.
And we speak our mind. And sometimes you'll disagree with that, and I get it, man. I get it. I love all you guys, man. I do.
And that's important to say.
We have a lot of girls, too.
That's good. Oh,
so,
man.
Was it your fucking nerd boy fucking?
I don't know who it is, dude. Oh, God. Cam, you can't be that sensitive.
No. With what?
If
your
somebody
nerdy neighbors?
I don't know.
That's what I say. Is it your nerdy neighbor?
No, I don't think they're listening. They are certainly not listening.
We talk about
At least I hope not.
I hope they do. They need a wake-up call.
All right, 800-279-7878. Go to hairclub.com/Cam Strick, baby. That's our landing page. Go there. Use our sign up for your first consultation. From there, you're going to save $250.
That's what you do.
That's a good discount right there. Of course, our friends over there, CarShield, 800-857-2481. Use that promo code CAM. You're going to save 10%. Something goes down in your car. You never know when it's going to happen, man. Could be a alternator. Could be a engine. Could be the brakes, like I just had. And
shitty-ass car.
You never know when it's going to happen. So you pick out where you're going to have the service done and all that type of stuff, and then you're taken care of, dude.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Right there, baby.
Use that promo code CAM. Again, you're going to save 10%.
Yank.
Mango, baby.
Mango.
What about zero carb life?
Andy, I'm starving.
Wow.
I'm starving. And this is a perfect time to do that, man. You're cooking food. You could have a little pizza thing outside with the kids, man. You have a little pizza oven outside on the deck. That's the best.
Use our promo code. Cam and Strick, dude, it's going to save you 15%. We got to get that word out. So make sure when you buy the pizza, but dude, this is like the healthiest pizza you're going to find, but it's like like people say they need to have like a cheat meal and all that type of stuff. You don't need a fucking cheat.
No, this is healthy.
Dude.
Yeah. And you could doctor it however you want.
Yeah.
You can put some sausage on that mug.
It's the only chicken-based pizza crust that is truly no sugars, carb, and gluten-free. Now, find me another one.
Look,
you won't.
I like being healthy sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't.
Zero carb life. How do you spell life, Cam, again?
Lyfe.
Ooh, yes. Lyfe.
I said that.
The crust is now being used as a part of our next product, the Zero Carb Life Frozen Pizza, man. We love this. They're on a mission to create the best tasting carb alternative foods to the world. So it's carb-free, dude. Eating pizza doesn't have to be a cheap meal. We're taking the guilt and carb coma out and putting the comfort and joy back into eating pizza. Do you feel joy when you eat this pizza?
That pizza I do.
Yes.
The other pizza I don't because my stomach hurts the next day.
Well, this is guilt-free.
Yeah.
That's why
and
you
I put
feel
on
that way.
5 pounds that day.
No, did you?
And then my Lulus don't fit. My
Oh,
ball
my
sack's
God.
hanging out because my pants are fucking tight.
All right.
Sucks.
So check it out. Use that promo code Cam Strick. Zero Carb Life, baby. Great job those boys did.
They did a good
putting
job,
this
man.
shit together.
Entrepreneurs, man. I love it.
Entrepreneur.
Yep.
Mars Blade, say hi to Per, dude. Per, he's sending
What's his name?
Per. He's from Sweden. From
How do you
Mars
spell
Blade.
that?
P-E-R.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Perry?
No, it'd be like if you it'd be
Pear?
it's spelled like it would be
Like
per or par, but it's actually like in Sweden.
Interesting.
It's like Willy Huso translated from Finnish to English would actually be Willy. You know what pear means?
A fruit?
It means rock.
That's shit kicker.
Mm-hmm.
That's shit kicker
Yeah.
right there.
You think
It's
Cromwell and these dudes are partnering up with a... Listen, his name is Rock, dude.
That's badass.
Austin Matthews knows, too. People want to know how he skates so well. I'll tell you why. It's because of Mars Blade, dude. The players are using this all over. Ryan O'Reilly actually is looking to get on board, too, man. A bunch of people.
Yeah.
So we got it going on right now with Mars Blade, dude. I can't wait for these blades to come in. It's going to take my skating to the next level. I'm getting the holders, too, for my ice skates, and Ty's going to have these roller blades, too. Although the size I got him a bigger size.
Let him grow into it.
So he can, like, have them for a little while. I got him, like, a size 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got the same size
It's going
as
to
you.
take a little. Mars Blade, man. We love it. Check it out. And do we have stuff that we got putting up on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff for Mars Blade. So check all of it out. Go to their website and get yourself a pair of rollerblades, dude, and get these holders. Get these holders for your ice skates as well. And check out the technology, dude. The difference that Mars Blade creates and what they do differently than all these other rollerblade companies out, Cam. There is no comparison.
I want to skate around my subdivision with no shirt on.
Well,
Stick handling around
yeah,
for
you
all them
might.
cougars.
You might.
I want to do it.
All right, the Better Business Bureau, 314-645-3300. Go to bbb.org. Say hi to Natasha.
Hi, girl.
And say hi to Chris.
What's up, homie?
They're amazing. So when consumers see the BBB accredited business seal, it tells them that. What does it tell them?
Well, that you're going to be okay.
That you can trust
You don't
them.
have bed bugs.
Yeah.
You don't have some psychopaths cruising around.
Bellman.com, again, out in Troy, Missouri. Buick GMC, Chrysler Dodge, Jeep Ram. Go say hi to Danny, boy. Say hi to Kenny, and go say hi to our boy Dale as well, man.
Dale.
They'll buy your used car, and they want to buy it today. So check
Buy
it
that
out.
Volvo from
Get
Andy.
out to Troy, Missouri. Bellman.com. Bellman. Get some new wheels in time for the summer. All right, this has been episode number 187, I believe, Brody. Yeah, 187 with Kent Hughes, the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens, on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast.